Greetings and salutations. Welcome to a very special event we have for you here at Nerd Culture. We are going to be celebrating what is known as the 15th anniversary of a remake of a Western film. It is called 3:10 to Yuma, starring Russell Crowe, Christian Bale, and a host of other great actors and actresses. I am your host, Ryan of Nerd Culture. Thank you so much for being here. But listen, I am not alone taking this journey back into the Old West. Yeah, with some gunslingers and some outlaws and all that stuff. So with that being said, joining us on this crazy and wild ride to celebrate the 15th anniversary of what is known as 3:10 to Yuma, which was in fact released on this very day in 2007. Please welcome the incredible Canada's own Willow Schuyler. Willow, welcome to the program. How are you?
Thank you for inviting me. I'm good.
That's it? You got nothing else? All right. Well, you want to keep it simple. All right. That's fine because simple is safe. But anyway, Willow, thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciate you being with us. And also, ladies and gentlemen, joining us tonight for the very first time here in the Nerd Culture Studios. Anyway, he is a big fan of our shows. He is a great supporter of us as well as other independent content creators on the interwebs. And we thank him for being here. Please welcome Dave Mattingly to the stage. Dave, how are you? Good to see you.
Thank you. I'm doing wonderful. It's always fantastic to see Ryan and Willow. Some favorite people here.
Yeah, we got the dream team on off that partner. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Once again, we are going to be watching the movie known as 3:10 to Yuma, but we are going to give you, the audience, a chance to queue up your copy if you have it on physical media or a streaming service. We're going to queue it up to what is known as the 5-second mark, but then we'll give you a countdown and we'll let you know when we're actually starting to watch the film. We'll let you know when we're going to hit play and all that jazz. But before we do that, I want to give you an opportunity to get to know our panelists just a little bit better before we start watching this movie 3:10 to Yuma. Willow, what were your expectations going in to see this movie, and then what were your overall thoughts seeing it, the first time around?
My husband introduced me to westerns when we started dating, and I fallen in love with them. 3:10 to Yuma. I think I watched the original a while back, and then my husband and I just decided to go watch it when it came out and at the theater. I seem to recall that I liked it. My husband, not so much.
That's fine. That's fine. No worries. Well, thank you so much for being here with us, Willow. We'll see what happens a little bit later on afterwards after you've had a chance to see like all of us here, get a chance to see the movie once again. With that being said, Dave, same questions to you. What were your expectations going in to see it, and then what were your thoughts after seeing it for the first time around?
Thank you. I'm not generally a Western fan, so I don't usually expect to enjoy Westerns. But I'd heard really good things about this. And I thought, of course, you got the fantastic actors seeing Batman and Gladiator in the Old West. Come on, what are you going to do? and I liked it quite a bit because it wasn't the normal shoot 'em up Western, the stagecoach, whatever kind of thing. It was more about the relationship and the journey and what it means to be a man of integrity. And I love it.
Ooh, wow. All right. Good points. Good points. Well, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. With regards to me, I was looking forward to seeing this because this was coming off the heels of the very good success of Batman Begins for Christian Bale's career, and then Russell Crowe has done many films before this, and he does have a history in the Western genre with The Quick and the Dead from 1995 that was directed by Sam Raimi, which is, by the way, that's another one of my favorite Westerns, is The Quick and the Dead. You think they're quick enough? Feel free to check it out. It's on streaming services everywhere. But that's not what we're talking about tonight specifically, but he's had experience. He knows what he's doing. So I was very anxious to see how this was going to work because I wasn't really too big of a Western film fan going in to see the film for the very first time back in the year 2007, coming off the heels of the success of Batman Begins with regards to Christian Bale's career. I was like, oh my gosh, he goes from playing Bruce Wayne to a Western here? How is this going to work? And then I saw it, and I'm thinking to myself, whoa, this is some really good filmmaking. It's good cinematography. It's good acting. There are some themes that are explored in this film that are really, really well done. And just the cast, I mean, you got a young, very young, up-and-coming at the time, Logan Lerman playing Christian Bale's own son, which is just crazy to me because of the success that he's had after this, or around this time, I should say. So I liked it. I enjoyed it. But anyway, that's my thoughts on going in to see the film. But now we are about to watch 3:10 to Yuma from 2007. Once again, feel free to queue up your copy on physical media or a streaming service. Make sure you like and share this video with all 200 of your closest friends because they're going to like the way they look after watching this 15th anniversary watch-along We guarantee it. If you have any memories, any thoughts, any behind-the-scenes stories, or just anything and everything about 310 to Yuma, or maybe some of your other favorite Westerns, whether they be modern or otherwise, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. We will bring up those comments as soon as they come in as best we can. With that being said, Willow, Dave, for those of you who are watching us in the comfort of your own home, whether you're watching or listening to this, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to give us a countdown, and we're going to hit play on this bad boy. Once again, we're going to start at the 5-second mark, so make sure you have it queued up to that spot, respectively. Willow, Dave, here goes the countdown. You ready?
Yep.
Best we can. All right, so 3, 2, and 1. Hit play. Let's do this thing. Oh, and by the way, try to keep your volumes as low as possible. If not, you can just put it on mute and put on subtitles, because the last thing we want is to get red flagged. Sorry, I probably should have said that sooner, but that is the truth. Anywho, but thank you. I don't hear the noise anymore. Yay, we're not going to get flagged. So, sorry, that's just the producer in me coming out, so I'm just giving you a heads up. But
I'm all with you.
Thank you, with all due respect.
But even so, I tried to drag it to the other screen, and it started going on with the sound. I only wanted to move it, not make a big noise.
It's okay, no worries. It's all right. Everything's been taken care of, and we're all fine. We're all fine here. No, thank you. How are you? Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just being silly. So the movie is starting. The opening credits are coming up on our screens respectively. So once again, this is 310 to Yuma's 50th anniversary, and congratulations to the cast and crew, because it's a wonderful film. Oh, and someone's getting a phone call. That's great.
Not me this time.
I hate when people have the phones on during the movie.
That was a medical alert. I'm okay. It's all right.
Oh, geez.
We're all fine here.
Okay. I was going to say, wait a minute. Is there something going on I should know about? Anyway.
A device needs new batteries. I'll take care of it.
Oh, that's another technical thing. All right. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. No worries, guys. No worries. So we see a young up-and-coming Logan Lerman is, appearing on screen. He's one of the first characters we see. Can you believe this is the same guy and who was in Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is an incredible film within itself. And then he's done a number of other things in his career. I mean, this was when he was just a baby in this film. I wonder how young he was at the time, because in the movie, his character is 14 years old. I don't know if that's how old he was during the making of this film, but I could be wrong.
He seems pretty close to it. He seems a believable in that age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because in the movie, his character's 14, but then again, he may have been 14, 15 when they were filming. I'm not sure.
It's amazing how physically how much of a physical actor Christian Bale is. Mm-hmm. He will literally change his physical look to suit the movies that he is in.
Yeah, going from playing a fit, buff Bruce Wayne in 2005 to 2007, where he's got a beard going on, he's got his hair growing out a little more, he's got the war injury as part of his character on his leg. I mean, when he goes out, he goes all out. I think, is it fair to say that Christian Bale is maybe a bit of a method actor?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
Maybe so, because he takes his physicality very seriously.
Logan was born in 92, so he was 15.
Yep, he was, okay. He
came out, so maybe 14 when it was being filmed.
Wow. Plays it very well, though. Very well. No, he's trying to go after the people who burned down his family's farm.
Oh my gosh, he's in Bullet Train. Speaking of trains.
Oh, he's in Bullet.
I haven't seen that yet.
Neither have I.
Last.
It looks good. I just haven't seen it, so I can't comment or speculate on Bullet Train. I cannot comment on that. I haven't seen it, but barn got burned down. Greedy people are trying to buy up his land. Railroads coming through, but he's not going to go down without a fight. Devastation of the barn being displayed here. Got to go into town and fix this.
My favorite surprise actor who showed up that I wasn't expecting is Alan Tudyk. But
as the doctor. Yeah. Yeah, he'll show up He'll show up a little bit later on in the film, but I was a bit surprised at that too when I first saw it. I was like, wait a minute, who's this? And then I looked at the credits. I'm like, Alan Tudyk was in this?
Right.
crazy because he had a full stash in this movie. He's got a pair of glasses on because he's portraying the character very well as the doctor. And then someone asked him halfway through the movie, he's like, "What kind of doctor are you anyway?" Because he sees all the imagery on the wall. He's thinking, something's not right here.
Yeah.
What kind of doctor are you again? It's nice to have a conversation with a patient for a change. Like, what? What is that?
There's the son of an inevitable cameo.
Yeah.
And I remember trying to figure out, I had seen The Wife here, but it took me a while when I was watching it for the first time to realize where I knew her from. This is Gretchen Mol, and she was in the Life on Mars TV show.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Dude, that's right. Yeah. She's been in a lot of stuff, actually, now that I think of it.
Right. But Life on Mars is the one where I first really took notice of her.
That was, correct me if I'm wrong, was that the reverse back in time cop show?
Yes.
Okay. That was with Jason Clark? Or not Jason OMara?
OMara, yeah.
OMara. That was the one from, what was it called? Terra Nova. I think.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the dad character?
Field and other things.
Yeah. But he was the dad character on Terra Nova, wasn't he?
I think so.
Jason OMara? I think he was. If I'm wrong about that, let us know in the chat. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts in regards to Jason OMara's career. Yeah, and I didn't know who this was at the time in 2007, but Ben Foster, woof, what an actor!
Yeah.
What an actor!
I do love
Powerhouse, this guy.
Yeah.
He's very good at playing Western characters, because he did Hell or High Water many years later, which is another really good film, Hell or High Water, which stars Ben Foster and Chris Pine. Yeah, it's a really good film. That was from, oh gosh, what's his, oh shoot, almost hit my glasses. What's his name? The person who writes Yellowstone, the showrunner. What's his name? Something Sheridan. Is it Tyler Sheridan?
I should know this.
Tyler Sheridan, I think his name. I can't remember. But the guy who runs Yellowstone and the guy who did Hell or High Water, he also directed Wind River, which is a great film. Great film. Anything this guy wrote or directed, in my opinion, I haven't seen everything.
Yeah,
he's done,
Taylor Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan. Okay, so he did Hell or High Water. He wrote and directed Wind River, and then he also wrote Sicario. So the guy's a beast when it comes to his writing, anyway, and his directing. I did like his directorial debut with Wind River. That's another great film. Such a great film.
Like I said, the cinematography here, all the scenery is fabulous.
It's so good. You feel like you're in this time period in the West. Like you just feel like you're there. The landscape, the way it's shot, the cinematography in a way is a character. The way this film looks is a character. Yeah. It's so good. You see the mountains, you see the carriages, you see the hood. Everything is just so well done, so detailed. In my opinion, it is. Now we got a horse carriage. Now we got a potential robbery of a coach here being put together. Got a Gatling gun. They got spotters, a driver, whole nine.
Yeah, Russell Crowe's hat always kind of amused me. It's so small brim, it always looks like a bowler, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good looking hat though. Fits the character pretty well.
Yeah, it's good looking because Russell Crowe's wearing it.
Mm-hmm. I think the costume design is great in this movie too. Yeah, I think the costumes are fantastic, especially Bale and Russell Crowe's outfit. My gosh, such good outfits. And then you got, I believe it's Peter Fonda here is on the coach, which is another legendary actor who's been in many, many different films. Almost kind of hard to tell that it's him because he's got the thick beard and he's got the, hair is hidden under his hat for the moment. Yeah. Got a massive shotgun though that he's carrying.
Yeah. It's not quite Easy Rider at the moment, is he?
No. No, not so. What am I trying to say here? Not so much with that. Once again, we are watching the movie known as 3:10 to Yuma for its 15th anniversary. The film came out on this very day in the year 2007. If this is your first time joining us, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you like and share this video with all 300 of your closest friends. They're going to like the way they look after watching or listening to this video. We guarantee it. If you want to queue up your copy, feel free to do so. We are currently at the 9-minute, 10-second mark here in the movie, so feel free to join us if you are able to. And share your favorite memories, some behind-the-scenes stories, or favorite things about Western genres and things like that. Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments. We would love to hear from you. We're very thankful that you are here with us.
So, what are your favorite westerns?
This one, 310 to Yuma, is kind of a given. The Quick and the Dead. I would say some of my other favorite westerns would include, gosh, let's see. I really liked. I finally got around to seeing Unforgiven. That was pretty good. I'll be honest. I'm kind of a Eastwood fan, so I kind of like the Dollars trilogy. Fistful of Dollars, Few Dollars More, Good, Bad, the Ugly. I mean, Good, Bad, the Ugly is on everybody's like top 10 Western list. I also liked, I like the remake of The Magnificent Seven with Denzel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I like that too. I like that remake. So that's another one of my favorite westerns. I liked Pale Rider. I like Outlaw Josie Wales. Once again, Eastwood movies. So those are some of my favorite westerns. What about you, Dave? Any other westerns stand out to you, or are you still kind of working your way around the genre?
My favorite is The Frisco Kid from, I think, 79. Gene Wilder and Harrison Ford. So Willy Wonka and Han Solo in the Old West.
Ooh. I have not seen this. Oh my god.
Very good. And it's another relationship-driven film between the two men.
Between the two characters. Huh. You said it was the Frisco Kid?
The Frisco, like San Francisco.
Got it. All right. One of these, I'm gonna have to. That's a good. Okay, I have to remember that. Good ones, man. Let's see here. Willow, anything stand out to you, or are you still kind of like neutral to the genre?
We're kind of John Wayne fans over here. Like you kind of, despite his his faults of being kind of racist, you kind of have to separate the art from the artist. I do enjoy his movies, but I don't know. I just the westerns from like the 50s and the 60s are totally different from today's westerns. But I don't know. I find like the dialogue a little bit better from back in like the 40s and 50s. Sorry. I don't know. I find the dialogue a little bit better back then.
I don't know if you can count it as a western, but the new movie Prey.
I want to.
A month and a half. Yeah.
I want to see that so hard. I want to see that movie really bad.
Very good.
Someone did actually speak to me about certain ways to watch you. So I can get on there now and watch Prey because I really want to see that. That looks so freaking good. So good. I'm like, wait a minute, what is Prey? And then all of a sudden you figure out it's an actual new Predator movie. I'm like, they're going way back.
Yep.
That's like the earliest forms of hunting. I'm like, yes, that's a great idea. I think it's a perfect idea for a film like that. So, yeah, it's on my list, Dave. Trust me. I've been itching and scratching and clawing to watch Prey for a long time.
And you could consider it a Western, but Back to the Future 3. It's more a time travel comedy that takes place in the West, but it's Western-ish anyway.
It's still a Western, in my opinion, which I love so dear. I probably should have brought that up as an honorable mention because I don't look at it as specifically like 100% a Western. It's more like a subgenre, but Back to the Future 3 is so good. I mean, the music, the score, the way it looks, and to see trains pushing a DeLorean up that. I mean, it's good stuff. It really is. And then you got Mary Steenburgen in there.
Yeah.
So, which is not a bad thing because she's a very accomplished actress as Mary Steenburgen.
Oh yeah, and the first movie I saw her in was a time travel movie, Time After Time, with H.G. Wells chasing Jack the Ripper into 1970s San Francisco again.
Was that a movie that came out beforehand?
Oh yeah, that came out like 70.
Oh, late 70s?
7 maybe.
Oh, during the Star Wars years? Holy cow! Yeah. I got to get on that.
Starring David Warner and Malcolm McDowell.
Great actors, and unfortunately we did lose David Warner earlier this year. R.I.P. to Professor Jordan Perry from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2. One of the first films I ever saw in the theater as a kid, and also one of the first movies I watched on VHS as a kid, which was the Ninja Turtles franchise. So David Warner, that was my introduction to him as an actor, and then I went back and watched a few of his other pieces of work. Not all of it, but
Yeah.
a few other pieces of his work, and I thought, man, this David Warner, he's pretty good. He's pretty good at what he's doing.
Yeah, besides him playing Jack the Ripper in that, my favorite David Warner is either evil in Time Bandits or animated as the Lobe from Freakazoid.
Oh, yeah.
I watched Freakazoid as a
The
kid.
man scientist. Oh.
I didn't remember he was in that. I do remember David Warner was one of the supporting characters in the Spider-Man animated show back in '94.
Yeah.
He was the evil scientist that was trying to destroy mutants during the X-Men Spider-Man crossover. Yeah. Willow, do you remember that?
I do.
The mutant agenda that they had between Spider-Man and the X-Men?
And in the Batman animated, currently having its 30th anniversary, he was Ra's al Ghul.
I almost forgot, but yes, he was Ra's al Ghul. That's right. Yep. That's 100% right. So, boom, more fun facts. But other actors that have nothing to do with 310 to Yuma that we're watching. But it happens. I mean, it's like Doc Brown always said, where we're going, we don't need roads.
Yeah.
We're going off the rails, guys. Anyway, by the way, this actor right here who just got killed by Charlie Prince's character played by Ben Foster, he has been in a number of shows. I forget his name, though. He was the one that got killed because he was the one who made a mistake in not killing all the guys in the carriage. So he paid the price for it. He has been in CSI Miami as Callie Duquesne's love interest in the early seasons of the show. And he was also made appearances on other legal dramas such as CSI and CSI Miami and probably CSI New York, because they recycle those actors over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I don't know his name offhand. I apologize.
Yeah, I watched the CSI Prime a lot, but I never got into most of the spinoffs.
Oh, I've watched all 4 of them. What was it? Miami, New York, and then there was CSI Cyber that only lasted
New York was better.
Hey, listen, when you got Lieutenant Dan, I mean, when you got Lieutenant Dan with new legs, and he's investigating crime in the Big Apple, you really can't go wrong. So, I love them all, Willow, but CSI New York is definitely pretty good. Pretty good.
Now, my favorite Western TV show is The Adventures of Brisco County Jr. Definitely.
Oh.
Bruce Campbell, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think I saw a poster for it one time when I was a kid, but I never watched it.
Oh, it is fantastic.
Is it streaming anywhere?
I'm not sure.
Do we know if it's streaming? I don't know. If anyone knows about that, let us know in the comments. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on that because I've heard a lot about that show over the years.
See, it's funny. Like I grew up watching reruns of like Bonanza and
Gunsmoke. Did you see Gunsmoke?
I actually, not so much Gunsmoke, but Bonanza was a huge thing in my with my family. So
Brisco is on Tubi.
Ooh, Tubi's a good one. Tubi's a good site. I gotta check that out.
So it is free on Tubi. All right.
Woo! Now we know what we're gonna watch.
Yeah.
Tubi is great. I've actually found one of my series that I watched as a kid, and I don't know if anyone's familiar with this, and I apologize if you're not. Josh Kirby, Time Warrior. There's a series of VHS tapes that came out in the mid to late 90s, and it was about this kid who is plunged into this adventure because this guy finds him in the spaceship, and he takes him on this adventure through space and time, and he becomes like the Time Warrior that they're trying to like help fix time. So it's literally like a Back to the Future type story. A scientist finds him, he said this crazy wild-eyed scientist to be asking about that book. And if that ever happens. Yeah, funny. I never thought it would be you. Anyway, I'm sorry. I can't help myself because Back to the Future is one of my favorite all-time trilogies, which doesn't have an anniversary coming up anytime soon, unfortunately. But I will say the Josh Kirby Time Warrior is Back to the Future-esque, and it is available on Tubi if you are so interested.
Okay.
So if anyone's curious, look up Josh Kirby, ... Time Warrior, and it's available on Tubi. Because I found it out like a few months ago. Okay. Online.
I'll have to download it onto my Roku later.
Great! Now you know what you're going to do when we're finished this show.
Yeah. And Brisco County also did involve time travel and a lot of sci-fi elements.
Oh. All right. I guess I'll have to keep that in mind as I roll along with the show. Good thing we know where it is now on Tubi. It seems like Tubi has a lot of stuff that you wouldn't expect to find, but they have it anyway.
Right.
I'm not a little strange, but I like it.
They're the only ones that have one of my favorite made-for-TV movies based on a cartoon. the Boris and Natasha movie.
Oh,
Oh, no way.
Made with Dave Thomas and Sally Kellerman
Wow. Woo.
in the early
look
90s.
that.
It is fantastic. I watch it all the time. It is so incredibly funny.
I probably got to look this one up too. Man, my list is just, I mean, Willow and I are sitting here, we're thinking, yeah, our list just keeps on going and going and going. That's your problem, Willow. Your list of stuff to watch is just growing.
I must have missed that one because the only Boris and Natasha portion of a movie that I've seen was with the guy that did George Costanza as Boris.
Jason Alexander, yeah, the live action film with Rene Russo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, that was my introduction to Piper Perabo as an actress before I saw her in Coyote Ugly.
Mm.
And then she did a big hit show on USA called Covert Affairs, which to me I think is underrated.
I liked the best in.
And it should have gotten more seasons than it did.
Yeah.
But those idiots at the networks just had to cancel it. So
yeah, and that was the first time my wife had seen Chris Gorham, who was the blind tech guy.
Dude, Jake 2.0, baby.
I know Jake 2.0. I loved him from that. Yeah,
I love that show, Dave. I love that show.
He was Chuck before there was Chuck.
You know what? I didn't even put two and two together, but you are 100% right. Before Chuck, there was Jake 2.0. If you don't know what we're talking about, Google it. I know someone posted episodes of it. I think on YouTube you can stream Jake 2.0, so look it up. It's on YouTube. I think it's there. So watch that show after you're done watching this special presentation of a Western film.
That's the movie we're not talking about, yeah.
Which is a Western film that we're specifically talking about, known as we're trying to anyway. 3:10 to Yuma, which came out on this very day in the year 2007, starring Christian Bale, Russell Crowe, Peter Fonda, Gretchen Mol. There's Ben Foster. Thank you. There's a million other actors and actresses I can't begin to name in this movie. But you know where we are right now? I'll tell you where we are. We're at the 21-minute and 25-second mark. So if you want to queue up your physical media or streaming service to watch the movie along with us, feel free to do so. If you have any thoughts or memories of this movie or other thoughts about the Western genre as a whole, let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments. Anything and everything about 3:10 to Yuma or the Western genre as a whole. We want to hear from you. Make sure you like and share this video with where are we now? 400 of your closest friends. Because they're going to like the way they look after watching or listening to this episode of Nerd Culture with the 50th anniversary of 3:10 to Yuma. We guarantee it. Gosh, that's a lot of words. And now the men are at the bar having a drink after their success in robbing the coach, stealing all that money, and then they told the sheriff that Ben Wade did it, and now they're running off while the men are taking over the bar and perhaps even taking over the town, at least for the moment. Here's to our boys that we lost in this fight. 4 people today that we lost. Ben Foster is pretty good at this character thing, and now Russell Crowe has something to say about what happened. Man, he was stupid, he was flawed, and he messed things up for all of us. And now he's dead. Making that toast, drinking away. Who plays the person who is serving them drinks in this scene? The woman? It's not Gretchen Mol, is it?
No.
All right.
She's the wife.
All right, who plays? The only name I see on here on my Blu-ray copy is. Well, I don't think it's Dallas Roberts.
Have you caught a name?
Is it Vanessa Shaw?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. She's
the woman.
Blonde, so.
Is that the woman who's serving them drinks right now? I think her character name is Velvet, but I don't know. Vanessa Shaw, maybe? I don't know. I wonder if she's done anything past this movie. I'm sure she has. I just can't think of anything right now. What's the terminology? Barmaid? I don't know. Barkeep? I don't know.
Barkeep, serving wench.
Barkeep. Thank you. Wasn't sure who it was, but if we know who the actress is, I'd be very curious to find out if it's Vanessa Shaw or not. All the men suddenly leave the bar. Ben Wade is thinking to himself, am I going to have another drink, or am I just going to maybe hit on this woman here? I don't know. Just thinking about it. Taking another drink. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know if this bar is. This bar looks a bit smaller than the one that was featured in Back to the Future Part 3. Because I'm looking at the table and it just looks shorter than the one they had in the third film. Back to the Future. That's what I see. This is the weird things that I come up with during these watch-alongs. Like, does this building look smaller or bigger than the one that's featured in another film?
Right.
Because it's the set design. I don't know.
Yeah.
Am I thinking of this wrong?
I think it all depends on the film crew. Like,
Yeah, what they had to work with.
Yeah.
I don't know. This bar looks a bit smaller than other certain bars that have been featured in other Western films. I don't know. Maybe it's just the average stuff.
One other Western that I love is The Three Amigos.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Wapo! Man, I'm coming for your birthday. What you say? I have a plethora of piñatas? Oh, yes. Man,
At least that much, yeah.
What did you guys think of the remake to True Grit?
Ooh, that's another one I didn't bring up. That's a good one. I liked it. I haven't seen the original, so I can't comment on the John Wayne original. But I do like the Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon, and who was the other one? Haley Steinfeld. Oh my lord, that film would not have been as good as it was without a very, very young debuting, at least at the time, Haley Steinfeld. She blew me away completely. Because in the trailers, I'm thinking, okay, she's gonna get the film started, and then she's gonna convince. What's his name? Jeff Bridges' character to go out and find the man who killed her father, but she's not going to accompany them. She's not going to do it. Like, she may try to sneak away and go off on the adventure, but she's not really going to make it, right, Willow? And then I watched the movie and I'm thinking, whoa, this 12, 14-year-old girl, that's a silly question. I'm 14. Like, she is serious. Like, she is.
They did
not
a really good job
lightly.
at capturing and kind of modernizing the story of True Grit, which was great. Like,
it was so good. That Haley Steinfeld stole the movie. She literally did. I mean, she was so good. And I'm thinking, if this woman's going to do anything else after this, I mean, if she doesn't win an Oscar for this, I'm going to be shocked. Which I don't think she won the Oscar for True Grit, but I think she was nominated. If she wasn't nominated, she should have. I can't remember, but she should have been she should have gotten a lot of awards that year for that movie. Because True Grit would not have been nearly as good as it was without Haley. But listen, look what she's done now. She's an accomplished singer. She's been in the Pitch Perfect movies. She's been in The Edge of 17, which is one of the best coming of age movies of all time.
It's Hawkeye.
Yeah, to Hawkeye as Kate Bishop, right? Yeah. I mean, she is just, she's just zooming, man. She is killing it with her career right now. And she's barely. I mean, didn't she just turn I don't know? She's in her early mid-20s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is so young, and yet she's still. I mean, she is huge trajectory. She's got a lot going for her. And congratulations to Haley Steinfeld and everything she's accomplished. By the way. But yeah, True Grit. I should have mentioned that. But yeah, it's a good one.
Another Western that I like, certainly parts of it. Is the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, but it's kind of a Western movie, but it's also kind of 6 short Western vignettes that aren't really related.
Fair point.
Yeah, some of them are Coen Brother comedies, some are Coen Brother tragedies, some are Coen Brothers whatever, but they are certainly memorable.
That's fair. Someone has mentioned that before, the Buster Scruggs one. Someone mentioned that somewhat earlier in the month, or last month, I should say. But excuse me. But yeah, man, we're just rattling off all these different westerns I didn't even come to think of in the beginning. But that's the beauty of this genre. There's so many films in each genre that it's kind of hard to keep track of all of them. A
semi-Western, a movie that was intended to be a Western originally, actually, was Big Trouble in Little China. They set it up to modern times. But he's still acting like he's basically acting like he's John Wayne, Kurt Russell in the movie.
9, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good point. And how we have the introduction of the Doctor character played by Alan Tudyk in this scene. He is about to help one of the members of the team, I believe it's Peter Fonda's character, Byron McElroy, remove a bullet wound from his chest, or his stomach, I should say. Excuse me. Trying to come up with the anatomy.
Well,
Yeah, Alan
he only
Tudyk.
had like 15 body parts back then, so it was a lot easier.
Yeah. So,
but it is a hoot seeing him as an alien doctor in
in the new television series. Yeah,
the
Resident Alien.
The role that he was born to play. Oh man, he is amazing in it.
I think I've heard about it. I just haven't seen it. The show that he's currently in, if I remember correctly, Resident Alien.
New episode tomorrow.
What kind of doctor are you anyway? This is gonna hurt like a blank. Remove the bullet wound. Oh my gosh.
I'm a doctor of philosophy.
It's a lot of blood.
He's gonna die. We're all gonna die.
It's a lot of blood. And this is gonna kill me. I don't remember the actor's name, but the person who plays Mr. Butterfield, who has the mustache and he's got the hat on, he's kind of in charge of employing and hiring people to do certain jobs. He's a rich dude working for the railroad or whatever it is. So, or I don't think he works exactly for the railroad, but like something similar to the railroad or something like that. I can't remember. Maybe for the sheriff's office. I don't know.
Dallas Roberts is his name.
Dallas, great actor. Great actor. He has been. You're right. That's the name I was thinking because I saw it on the back of my Blu-ray. I'm like, wait a minute, Dallas Roberts sounds familiar. But yeah, Dallas Roberts is Mr. Butterfield. Great actor. He's so good as an antagonist, but then he can kind of flip the switch and be a protagonist too. So he's a good character actor. I would venture to say, with regards to Dallas Roberts' role. Wasn't he in? Yeah, he was in the TV series called Unforgettable with Poppy Montgomery, who had that super memory that was semi-based on the autobiography of.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
The woman from Taxi. What was her name? Mary Lou Henner. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. He played the runner of the FBI that was hiring Poppy Montgomery's character on Unforgettable in season 2 of the show. So if anyone's curious to see more of Dallas Roberts' work, see more of him as a bit of an antagonist, but also kind of a mixture of both. Like he wants to help the team, but he's tied up by the bureaucracy of it all, and he could be a pain in the keister. Feel free to look up the television series known as Unforgettable with Poppy Montgomery. I think it's a decent procedural. It's not the greatest procedural I've ever seen, but it services well. It's fine. There's so many procedurals nowadays. It's like everything is the same. It's sad. You ever notice that about the procedural genre? It says if one show comes out, then there's 5 more imitators of it.
Yep.
It's sad. Very sad. We see Kevin Durand is playing Tucker in this film, and he would go on to play, what was his name? The Blob in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
In 2009, which came out after this movie came out. But Kevin Durand has done some stuff too. He's done a lot of, I believe it's television work. Kevin Durand. Wasn't he in Lost? TV series Lost? He may have been. Oh no! Yeah, and Evans is looking for payback against the greedy landowner trying to take his land. Doesn't seem to be able to find him in the bar, and now he has crossed paths with the one known as Ben Wade once again. What you doing here, Rancher? Come to wake some snakes. Thank you very much, Dave, for putting that in the chat. I see Dave has taken the liberty of putting a link for Frisco County Junior episodes brought to you by TubiTV.com. # not a sponsor. But there's the link in the chat if anyone's curious. You can always go back to it later on the replay of this video.
And one thing that you would certainly know Brisco County from, but you've never seen it, is the theme song for that became the theme song for the Olympics.
Oh
my. Oh my. I was not aware of that one, Dave. Boy, we are learning all sorts of new things tonight on this special presentation celebrating the 50th anniversary of 310 To Yuma. Interesting stuff. Apparently I'm getting messages from all corners here. Who's this from? Oh, just stop it. No, don't dive into it. Sorry. Nope, I'll have to worry about that later. That's not important right now. I really like the outfits by Russell Crowe and Christian Bale in this. Like, I would be more than happy to wear that outfit that Christian Bale is wearing. I like his outfit.
Yeah.
It's a good one. hat and the jacket complement it very well. At least in my opinion. Can't speak for everybody. Hey, boss! And we see Ben Wade is about to be arrested by the authorities here in Bisbee. He's got the sheriff, he's got Tucker, he's got Hollander. Well, now they got him in shackles. They got him in handcuffs. Careful with that gun. It's got a curse on it. Ooh. Apparently Ben Wade's gun has a curse on it.
Don't go twirling the bad guy's gun. That's not healthy for you.
Don't say I didn't warn you, as Ben Wade would say. A lot of beards are being featured in this movie. I'm telling you, the Western genre, there's a lot of beards on these characters. Or mustaches, for that matter, because that was just how it was back then.
But it's so clean cut, though.
It is. It is, isn't it? Isn't that strange? It's a bit strange, though, right? I don't know. Now he's about to be read his charges. 22 robberies, over $400,000 loss. We will be taken for trial, and we will pay to make it happen. My goodness. What have we got now? Any volunteers? Of course, Dan Evans is going to volunteer. And Byron McElroy wants to go too, despite his injuries to his gut. I'm going too. You only need one. Doctor can't shoot for nothing. Oh, someone's getting messages. I'm sorry. I'm hearing all kinds of. I'm hearing all kinds of weird noises in the background of certain people's studios. I'm just curious. Like, did anyone not get
Discord for the conference where I'm speaking at all week?
Oh wow, you're a busy man.
For being an unemployed guy, yeah, I am.
I was gonna say, well, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put it like that, but
that's all right.
I was not trying to put it that way. But I'm just curious, though. What is this conference that you're speaking at, if you don't mind me asking, or is it kind of off the record?
It's called Hack Red. It's a cybersecurity conference in Louisville, Kentucky. Started this morning and it's going through Sunday.
Oh, okay. Is it virtual?
Improv comedy and how it relates to cybersecurity on Saturday. And for most of the week, I'll be running the mental health village. There are cybersecurity is considered a high stress field. It is certainly a high turnover. I'll give it that. And we need to learn how to take care of ourselves, despite all the crazy things that are happening all around us.
Wow.
You thought I was just a nerd this whole time.
I was not gonna. No, I was not aware. That's great. And so, are you speaking at this like in a are you physically going to be there, or are you doing this virtually?
I am here. We'll be here through Sunday. So yeah.
Oh, you're already there. You're already in Kentucky.
That's where I live. This is a local one for me, but I do sometimes go around to other tech conferences here and there.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't sure where you were, but okay, that makes a lot of sense. Well, congrats, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope the rest of the week and the conference and the events for it go well for you guys.
I was at another tech conference in the same hotel just 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow!
Jeez. Okay. Busy man with a lot of conferences happening. Interesting. Boy, Ben Foster's not kidding around when he says he's going to do everything he can to make sure that his team stays together, because especially before they go transfer over to Dan Evans' ranch, he's like, this town's going to burn. And I'm thinking, whoa, this guy is not messing around. He's out of his mind. Shoots like 2 guys that arrested Ben Wade already. Like, woof, some of the team members are down. Well, the ones that are transferring Ben Wade to 310 to Yuma. All right, you see him over the hill now. Saying, hey, we're watching you. We know what's going on. Apparently one of the wheels on the wagon has fallen off. Well, fallen off the road part of it anyway. Hello there. You need some help over here.
And Ben Foster is such a good,
very good
number 2 guy.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. He's out of his mind. He's got that stare. He's got that cold stare saying, hey, I'm coming for you. I'm going to do everything I can to make this right.
Yep.
Sorry about your barn, Evans. And he's like, yeah, right. No, you're not.
He's almost got the Gowron Klingon stare.
Fair point. Fair point. Gotta get him out of this. Gotta get him out of the coach.
Glory to you and to your house.
Good driving, Marshall. Not so much with the wheel being turned off.
A flat tire. Gotta call AAA again.
Gotta find him now. Oh, gonna transfer one guy from the coach into another. And Wade's got a bit of a new outfit on, so they can try to dupe the crew into following the carriage when he's not in it. And the coach.
I've changed my own tire before. I'm glad I didn't have to do it like that.
Let's
lift it up.
Just lift up the wheel and put it back on where it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
That stick, and then lift up the entire carriage. Okay.
Now they got the decoy in the coach. I'm gonna try to make the crew, follow them rather than sticking around with Dan Evans' ranch. And by the way, the man that took Ben Wade's place in that coach is the same guy, the same actor, and I apologize, I don't know this gentleman's name offhand, but he played Clark's father in the TV show The 100 that was on the CW. Clark was the female lead character, but he played her father in that scenario. So if anyone's curious, I don't know the actor's name, but he's a good actor as well.
Yeah.
And he was on CW's The 100, which just ended about a few years ago. That show came to a close. So if anyone's curious, The 100 is available to stream on Netflix here in the U.S.
Yeah.
If anyone's curious.
Forgot about Luke Wilson being in this one.
Yep. Spoilers. But yes, there is a cameo appearance by Luke Wilson in this movie as an evil cowboy who wants to kill Ben Wade.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least help kill Ben Wade anyway. It's one of those ordeals. Back at Dan Evans' ranch, everyone's sitting down to dinner. Did you have something to do with that? Doc trying to give Tucker some lip about not burning down people's homes and barns. Just doing my job, Doc.
Damn, what a tight spot.
Yeah, just doing your job, huh? Yeah, pretty stupid if you ask me.
So what was your guys' first movie to see the lead character in? Russell Crowe.
I know I've seen him in Gladiator. Was A Beautiful Mind before that?
I think that was 99.
Okay.
I think it was 99.
Yeah.
If not, it was... I don't know. If not, it may have been 2001. But I think it was earlier than that.
A Beautiful Mind was 2001. Gladiator was 2000. Okay.
Oh, okay. So I got the years flipped. All right. Got it. As far as my exposure to Russell Crowe, I think I may be wrong about this, and like I said, I wish I could remember more, but I may have seen Quick and the Dead before this, but then when I saw him in 3:10 to You, that was like my real introduction to him as an actor, because I didn't really pay too much attention to him in the Quick and Dead. I mean, he has a great role, and he plays the character very well, but I just didn't really...
Yeah.
I really wasn't paying attention too much to the cast. I wasn't paying attention to too many fun facts about movies and stuff back then as I am now. So now I can totally recall it. But I think my introduction to Russell Crowe as an actor was a combination of this, 3:10 to Yuma, and Quick and the Dead. And then I didn't see Gladiator until years later, many, many years later. And then I didn't even see A Beautiful Mind until years later too. But A Beautiful Mind was solid. I thought, to me, Gladiator, I think is overrated. I don't think it's a great film like everyone makes it out to. I think it's fine. Right. But it's not something I'm going to go back to. It's not a very rewatchable film, in my opinion. Like this film, 3:10 to Yuma is very rewatchable. When I think of Russell Crowe, I'm like, well, I can watch Russell Crowe in 3:10 to Yuma and The Quick and the Dead all day long because he's good. It's really good performance.
Yeah.
But Gladiator, I'm just kind of like, I don't really care, and it's overrated.
Yeah, for me, Russell Crowe, the first two that I saw him in were Virtuosity and LA Confidential.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah. Dude, I saw Virtuosity during the lockdown. I was like, this movie is so terrible. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's not even good. It's just bad. I'm like, this is just weird. It doesn't make any sense. And then the other film that you mentioned between Virtuosity and I think, what was the other one?
LA Confidential.
That film was good, but once again, I don't think it's a rewatchable movie. LA Confidential, personally, but that's just me.
Yeah.
It's
And,
fine.
he was good, but for me, Guy Pearce was the standout for that one, and Kevin Spacey to a degree.
Good point.
I mean, lots and lots of fantastic actors in that one.
Mm-hmm. Keep it on the QT, very hush hush. Danny DeVito's character, baby.
Oh man,
Like, yeah, it's top secret, very low key, very hush hush, but it's on the QT. That was a good
how
one.
about the doctor, Alan Tudyk? What was your introduction to him?
Oh wow.
Alan, this was my introduction to Alan Tudyk.
Oh really? Okay. For me,
To Yuma was
A Knight's Tale.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right. That's right. Never
The
mind.
excitable sidekick. What?
Never mind. I didn't pay attention to actors as much as I do now, but yeah, Alan Tudyk. Dude, A Knight's Tale. But I hate to say this though, but Paul Bettany made that movie. Because when he walks up and does the introductions, the savior of our Lord God, the one, the only, Sir Ulrich von Liechtenstein. God, I'm good.
Yeah.
Dude, when he says "God, I'm good," I'm like, that's my line right there. That is my 100%. That is my line, Dave. 100%.
What are you doing? Trudging? To trudge?
Are you trudging? Do you not understand? And then they're like trying to help him get with the girl, and the girl doesn't want him, and it's just it makes no. Some of that movie doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but at the same time, the jousting is awesome. I think the effects on the jousting sequences are good, and then the soundtrack with "We Will Rock You" by Queen is just even better.
Yeah.
So it's like this movie doesn't make half a lick of sense, but it's so fun. It's so good.
It's called a lance. Hello.
Supposed to you're supposed to lunge at him. What is going on?
And the year after Knight's Tale, Firefly was on, and that's what most people think of him as primarily.
Yep. I saw Alan Tudyk. I did see the movie Serenity. I just didn't see Firefly. I saw Serenity.
Well, I think for me, A Knight's Tale, and then it was Dodgeball.
Oh, dude, it's the pirate.
Because
yeah.
I didn't watch Firefly until years later.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. That was crazy. Oh, look who's here. Look who's here. Halcyon X, which is another way of saying Halcyon Designs and Halcyon Props. Good friends of the show here at Nerd Culture. We just did an interview with them. Kelly Beckham and her husband Drew of Halcyon Props is the spinoff. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of the actual name. It's Halcyon Designs. Thank you. I'm so sorry. But they have an interview with us on our YouTube channel known as Nerd Culture. Make sure you check out that video once you're done watching the special presentation. But they say hype, hype, hype with Grogu emojis. So thank you so much, Halcyon X, for being here, watching us through Twitch. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our Twitter feeds. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you being here. It's good to hear from you, and we look forward to talking with Kelly Beckham on the show known as And I Quote, which I host and produce on Saturdays, 12 p.m. Eastern Time next year. Very much looking forward to having you on, Kelly. I wish you well. Your sign is hanging up over here on my wall that you made for me as a commission order. Thank you very much. Check out at Signs by Kelly on Instagram. Check them out today. You're gonna like the way you look after looking at that Instagram feed. We guarantee it. Hashtag always promote your friends, guys. Always promote your friends. That was a long tangent. But anyway, so I'm sorry. When I saw their comment, I'm thinking to myself, I haven't heard from these folks in a while. It's good to hear from them. And by the way, they were just at DragonCon this past weekend, and they dressed up as her husband was dressed up as actual Mandalorian from season 1, and then she was dressed up as the Armorer, and they looked fantastic. Wow. They looked incredible in those outfits. So like I said, if you follow her at Signs by Kelly and at Halcyon Props, you're going to like the way you look after looking at those pictures from DragonCon. I guarantee it. And by the way, Halcyon just chimed in. They say, haha, thanks. You are quite welcome, guys. You know why? Because the rising tide lifts all ships. Okay?
I will definitely be stalking their page later.
You should, because Willow, we have this little thing in life called hashtag support small businesses. So there you go. And by the way, they do commissions, Willow. So if you want them to do something special,
who has the talent to make Mando armor is gods in my book.
Yeah, well, he made helmets. He spray painted. He painted everything. Her husband does that, and then she makes the nerd decor signs, which are featured on her Instagram feed that you're going to look at later. And yes, mine is posted on my Instagram feed in case anyone wants to see an example of her work. It is located on Instagram at RyanRPM5, which is located right here on my tag here on screen, and it's also located within the description of this video.
So out of the various DragonCon costume photos that everybody's been posting, do you have any favorites?
The only ones I've seen are the ones that her and her husband have posted from DragonCon. So I like them because it's Star Wars, and I like Star Wars people, and I like Star Wars costumes. Is that a bad thing? I don't think so.
That's all good.
Anyone
my
else?
two favorites. One I posted today was a group of a dozen or so people all wearing Nicolas Cage masks from different movies.
Oh, dude!
It was a cage match.
Oh, that's funny.
Dude, Dave, that's hilarious.
And the other one that is just amazing is a group of 3 people wore black leather outfit types, and they had this diamond
Really?
of transparent plastic.
Really?
And they were trapped in the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, I saw that.
Those were the 3 people. Was that actually from DragonCon this year?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was a picture from like years past. I'm like,
No,
hey,
it
says,
was,
forget it. They won the cosplay contest. Forget it. They won. Someone made a meme of that, and I'm thinking,
Yeah, right, yeah.
3 people trapped in a plastic container that looks exactly
amazing.
like the Phantom
Yeah.
Zone. I'm like, dude, that's incredible. But yeah, I did see that picture, Dave. That was really good. I'm like, you will pay for this one day, Jorah.
Yeah.
Does
My
anyone
favorite
remember
from
that?
last year, a woman was dressed up like a Delta stewardess flight attendant thing,
Yeah.
including a checkout desk.
Really?
She had a Loki horn. She was the Delta variant.
Oh,
That was hilarious.
That one. I was thinking of something completely different than that, but yes, good point. Wow, these are some. Some of us have to look at these pictures and send it to me. I gotta look this up. But anywho, that is some good stuff. But yes, a number of our friends and people who have tables were at DragonCon this past weekend. And for those of you who may be watching this, we hope that DragonCon was a successful week/weekend for you, whether you were selling your artwork, selling your books, selling your whatever it is that you put together yourself, or whatever it is that you are working on. We hope that you succeeded and had a great weekend this past weekend at DragonCon 2022, which was held in Atlanta, Georgia. So congratulations to everyone who took part in that. I believe, who was my good friend Bobby Nash, who's a writer. He was there, and he posted a lot of pictures from DragonCon, especially the panels that he was on with his fellow writers. I'm interested in those panels, so if they ever post videos of those, I got to look those up and watch them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but by the way, Bobby Nash, hope you're doing well. I hope your dad is feeling much better. I understand he had a bit of an emergency today. I hope he's doing much better now. So, Bobby Nash and your family, wish you the best. We're thinking about you, brother. And Bobby Nash and I are going to have a wonderful conversation next week, which I will talk about a little bit later on, regarding his epic crime fiction series known as Snow. Yeah, which we're going to talk about next week.
Cool.
So get ready for that. We will talk more about that later on in this broadcast. But for the moment, we are currently, at least attempting to, celebrating the 15th anniversary of 310 to Yuma, which came out on this very day in 2007. We are at the 52-minute and 32-second mark here in the film. If you are just joining us and you want to queue up your copy on a physical media or a streaming service, which it is currently streaming on HBO Max within the United States, feel free to queue up your copy right now. Join us, share your favorite memories of the movie, share your favorite things or maybe not so favorite things about the Western genre in the comment section, in the chat, whether you are watching this live or on the replay. And make sure you like and share this video with all 600 of your closest friends, because they're going to like the way they look after watching or listening to this celebration of the 15th anniversary of 310 to Yuma. We guarantee it. I also want to take this opportunity to thank you, Willow and Dave, our panelists, for this night's festivities. Thank you so much for being here. And once again, when we get a chance, all the information to find us as well as Willow and Dave will be located within the description of this video. So make sure you follow them. Check out what they're doing. They got a lot of projects coming up. And I know Willow, is there anything you don't do? I mean, seriously, you do like 50 billion things a week nowadays.
Well, currently is making beds at a haunted hotel.
Which you can talk more about at the end of this broadcast. So, which we will save time for that. Trust me, Willow, when I tell you, we are going to save time for that at the end of this broadcast. But I do want to take this opportunity to say, Willow, I like the background of your studio.
Oh, thank you.
It's very Western-like. You found that on... Did you find that on Google Images like 2 minutes before the show? Yeah, you did. She did. See, there's a behind-the-scenes story for you right there. It's okay.
I just moved out old west.
I do have a love for westerns, though, and to be able to visit a western town would be awesome.
Which, that's amazing. There's not a problem with that. So that's good stuff. By the way, this confrontation here between Ben Wade and Dan Evans here just now, where Ben Wade was kind of poking the bear a little bit, trying to say to him, hey, why don't you treat your family better? Why don't you treat your kids better? Why don't you treat your wife better? Because what are you even doing out here? You shouldn't be out here. You need to be at home with your wife and your 2 sons. And he says, you say one more word about my wife, I'm going to cut you down right here. And then everyone's trying to hold him back and say, whoa, wait a minute, pal. He hasn't reached contention. He hasn't reached the train yet. Don't do something you're going to regret later. And his son, in this case, his son's name is William, played by Logan Lerman, has snuck out of the house against his mother and father's wishes to say, hey, I don't want you going on this mission. But he says, no, forget it. I can shoot better. I can ride better than any of those guys out there. I am the best person for this job. He disobeys his mother and he leaves 2 minutes after not even 2 minutes, like 5 seconds after he's put to sleep. And he's like, no, you know what? I'm going to leave. I'm going to follow my dad and I'm going to make sure that this mission gets taken care of. And I got to say to this character, that is a gutsy move to be going on this sort of a mission with your dad, no less, with some very serious, like nasty-ish people. Because no one in this movie is really clean. Everyone has a past. Everyone has a dark side. Everyone has something that they regret or some things that they shouldn't have done, right? Everyone's got these dark demons that they're wrestling with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's going on this mission with his dad that he doesn't respect.
He doesn't respect his father at all.
Than his dad. He's going to show that he's better than his dad.
In this case, he is going to do that. He's attempting to do that. You're absolutely right, Dave. Oh, wait a minute. Someone's getting killed. And that would be Tucker is getting the axe here. Apparently, Ben Wade managed to find something, which in this case is a fork that he stole from Dan Evans' home during the dinner sequence. Slid it up his sleeve there, Dave. Used it, and he just killed Tucker. Well, Tucker was kind of a jerk anyway, even though he shouldn't have died. But then again, maybe the character got what he deserved. I mean, he did take his gun. So, well, Ben Wade's gun anyway, not Dan Evans' gun. That's different. There's the murder weapon right there. Oof, man, he got punched pretty hard by Mr. McElroy, didn't he? If you're going to dig a grave, you might as well dig one for yourself. Man. Very serious stuff and themes being explored in this movie.
I remember another Western or a half Western that I like.
Which one?
John Carter of Mars.
Oh.
Boy, man, talk about a movie that was poorly marketed and didn't make much money.
Yeah, you could have mentioned Mars in the title somewhere to let people know what it's something about. It's named after a guy. What is this?
It's named after some weird dude who goes on a space adventure who happens to be named Taylor Kitsch, in which case he plays the iconic character known as Riggins on Friday Night Lights. Which, by the way, Friday Night Lights is one of the top 5 greatest TV shows of all time, in my opinion. I think that show is solid from beginning to end. And what's his name? Taylor Kitsch plays one of the many different characters in that show, which, once again, that's available on Netflix in case anyone wants to binge watch Friday Night Lights. It's available on other streaming services as well, but I do know for a fact it is on Netflix. So there's something for you for everybody. Yeah, John Carter should have been called John Carter of Mars, because then I would have understood why this movie is the way it is. And another thing is, correct me if I'm wrong, but no, wait, you know what? I'm not even going to attempt it. Who wrote the original book?
Edgar Rice Burroughs.
It was Edgar Rice Burroughs. All right. I wasn't sure if it was him or another dude.
Tarzan and a bunch of others.
Which, by the way, Edgar Rice Burroughs just had a birthday recently. Did you know that, Dave?
Yeah, 100, wasn't it? Or
yep.
Over 100.
Over 100,
wow.
Yeah. Someone posted that on their Facebook page, and I noticed that, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, I know this man's name, but I've never read any of his books. And then immediately the person who was running the page says, well, here's a good place to start. And he posted this giant picture of all the Tarzan, like 12 different, like 16 different Tarzan books. And I'm thinking, is there a theme going on here with Edgar Rice Burroughs, or am I just imagining things? And he's like, no. You got to read Tarzan. I'm like, okay. I think one Tarzan book would be enough, but maybe I need to read more. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not me Tarzan, you Jane stuff. He's actually a very smart ape
writer. Oh, he's a very smart. You mean a very smart character?
Tarzan is a smart character.
Oh, okay, that's what you meant. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Dave, to tell you the truth, I'm going to a convention next weekend that's going to have a lot of like older school type books, and it's called the Mid-Atlantic Nostalgia Convention.
Cool.
And there's going to be a lot of big names there in terms of the actors and actresses, but also there's going to be a lot of vendors there that sell like the old school books, the old school properties, very, very old school stuff. And I asked somebody on Facebook today, I said, I'm going to this show next week, and anything I should look for? Because I like these types of stories, ... And then he posted a picture to me, which featured a different writer, not Edgar Rice Burroughs, I'm sorry. But he posted something, and I'm thinking, crime fiction. Okay, I can get with this. So I took did I take a screenshot of it? No, well, I took a screenshot of the person's name I need to visit while at the convention because he has a booth there. Someone mentioned a vendor's name that's specifically going to be there at the venue. And I'm like, okay, I know who to look for now. And then he posted a picture of 4 crime novels, and I'm thinking, okay, more paperbacks.
Yeah.
More paperbacks that need to be added to my freaking cart, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically when I go to this convention next week, for those of you who may be wondering, it's called the Mid-Atlantic Nostalgia Convention. It's in Hunt Valley, Maryland. It's going to be held September 15th through the 17th, 2022. But it's held every year. It's not just a one and done. I got a lot of books to look for while I'm there, so don't be surprised if I bring home a giant bag full of paperbacks, Willow. I'll take pictures, I promise. Dave, I'll take pictures of the stuff that I find probably, and I'll post it on my social media feeds later. Do not be surprised if I do. But yeah, someone suggested these things to me, and I'm thinking, well, it's nice to learn about writers that I'm not overly familiar with because it's educational, right? So I figured, what the hey, Edgar Rice Burroughs, why not?
Yeah. The local university actually has the world's largest collection of Edgar Rice Burroughs original material. It's like almost a museum kind of thing.
Who does?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You said someone does or a place does?
The local university, their library.
Oh, their library. Okay.
The world's largest collection, yeah.
Oh, wow. What was the name of it again?
The University of Louisville.
Oh, Louisville. Oh, wow, in Kentucky. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing that, Dave. I appreciate the information. I also appreciate the fun facts.
Mm.
So keep rolling with that, man. Because like I said, I'm going to this show next week. So if I find books, I'll probably just end up, if they have a deal where I can buy like 4 books for 2, or buy 3 get 1 for whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends on the situation when I get there, because I won't know until I physically am at the venue looking at it. But I'm probably going to buy some Edgar Rice Burroughs books since he had a birthday recently, and I want to learn more about him. So, anyone else have thoughts about that? Let me know in the chat. Be curious to hear your thoughts. But if you have any thoughts about 310 to Yuma, feel free to let us know. Because I really like the cinematography that's being displayed right now. The sun's kind of behind them, but they're trying to pan up, and then it goes straight into a bit of a panning shot or a wide shot. It's pretty good. And then you're having a discussion between Dan Evans' character and Ben Wade. You know, I actually like the new hat that they have on Ben Wade's head. You know, is it bluish or grayish? I can't tell, but it looks like a nice hat. Anyone notice that? Yeah. I think it's a nice looking hat, personally.
I like this first one.
Yeah, the first one suits. Obviously the first one suits his character a lot more, but I do like the replacement one that they're giving him because it's a loner. I don't find you that very interesting, Byron.
I have kind of a hat fetish. I love hats. Every time I'm at a store that sells hats, guaranteed I'm walking out with one.
Have you bought any hats recently?
A couple months ago, I bought a hat from a little shop out in Oak Bank. So yeah. Can
you take a picture of it and send it to me? Later, not now. Don't worry about it right now, but if you get a chance later this week or tonight, feel free to send me a picture of it.
If I go into a haberdashery, I have to keep my wallet closed, like clenched, so that I don't go in my hat.
Now you really got Dave and I curious. How many hats do you actually own? And you should take a picture of all the hats.
There will be a day where they'll be put on the wall with hooks, but right now they're strewn about, and I should really take care better care of them. I have to fix a couple of the hats that I have because they're kind of bent, but
Really?
I need hat boxes.
Oh, you mean hat box? Okay. I mean, if you want to know the truth, I only have baseball hats and I have 2 fedoras for my Indiana Jones outfits. One of them is tailored in the style of Raiders, and the other one is tailored in the style of Last Crusade.
Cool.
And
yeah, not counting baseball caps, which I keep just getting them somehow. I don't know where they'll come from.
Really?
I've probably got a dozen other hats: fedoras, top hats, bowlers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool, Dave. I respect that. Good stuff.
I have a cowboy hat that came from Texas. My husband went there several years ago when his brother was a trucker.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Nice. Man, there's got a couple of different hats and different hat collections are being shared about here on this program. And now Ben Wade has taken a bit of control of the situation by throwing Mr. McElroy over the gorge. But his son, Dan Evans' son, William, has finally shown up and said, hey, you're not getting away that easily, Mr. Wade. You better drop that gun or I'm going to drop you right here. And he's serious, too. He's not messing. His son is not messing around.
Yeah, he was following him for a while, sneaking behind.
Mm-hmm. He knew exactly what was going on in regards to the situation at hand. Well, he's picking up his gun now.
Well, another sort of semi-Western that I like is The Postman, Kevin Costner.
Mm-hmm.
So
I haven't seen it. I never saw it.
Post-apocalyptic mailman. But the world's kind of reverted to Old West style things.
Oh, right. You're a godsend. Savior. No, I'm just the postman. And I'm like, what? I don't know. That's the only clip I know from the movie because someone posted it on YouTube once when I was watching a montage of different movie clips, like the 100 worst movie lines or 100 cheesiest movie lines. And that came up in the. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry to tell you this, but that came up in the light by saying.
Oh, yeah, I know. A lot of people think it's a terrible movie, but I like it.
It's all good, man. That's the beauty of film, you know.
Yep.
What am I trying to say here? Movies are subjective. It just is.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Postman, so I can't comment on that. By the way, is Wyatt Earp with Kevin Costner any good?
That is a really good one. I did enjoy it, Wyatt Earp.
I haven't seen it though.
I like him best in The Untouchables. It's my favorite.
Yes.
The Untouchables. He pulls a knife. You pull a gun. He sends one of us to the hospital. You put one of his in the morgue. That's Chicago. And I'm like, okay, you're not really Chicagoan because you're Scottish, but yeah, I don't get that. And yet Sean Connery won the Oscar for that. The Untouchables, not. By the way, The Rock, him and Nick Cage is just. I mean, come on. I mean, listen. The best part about that movie is towards the end where they're gunned down, they're outgunned, outmanned, and they're in that trench or whatever the heck it is, like down below Alcatraz. And he says, I'll do my best. Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Losers go home and blank the prom queen. Yeah. Carla was the prom queen. Really? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of credibility going on here. All right.
Yeah.
That's the best part of that.
Freak? No, I'm a chemical super freak.
Yeah, by the way, Dave, in my opinion, that line with Connery and Nick Cage is the best part of that movie. In my opinion. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that in my opinion, it is like I laughed so hard at that line. Because who would expect Connery, because I'm not used to seeing Connery drop F-bombs. I'm just not used to hearing him say those things because I've been so used to the same rigmarole of James Bond where there are very, very few curse words in those series. And then you do Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And it's like, he's not really cursing because he's the stoic, like, father figure who says, if you do something wrong, I'm gonna call you on it. Remember when he slaps Junior? That's for blasphemy. And I'm like, what is going on here? It's
no ticket.
What is it? 2 selfless martyrs. I'm replacing the words. I'm just replacing the words. Gee whiz. That's for blasphemy. Yeah. I'm like, that is so good, man. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Some unexpected Sean Connery. Go back and watch Darby O'Gill and Little People.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, Dave.
He actually sings.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
I was unaware of this at the time.
He might not even be 20 at that point.
Ooh.
A
Ooh.
very young Sean Connery singing.
Ooh.
I hadn't seen that movie until my husband mentioned it,
Really?
and we found it on DVD.
Mm. That's a fair.
Darby.
Oh yeah.
That's a see. Even the producers in the backstage area know what we're talking about. So that good stuff, Willow. That's good stuff. Anyway, it seems that certain people in the mountains are not happy with the path that the team over here has chosen, so they are trying to kill each and every single one of them, including Dan Evans, has been apparently injured in his leg. I think it is. His leg may have been shot. I don't know. But his leg gets shot, and Ben Wade says, "Hey, we're not going to get out of here alive unless one of us does something. So you stay here, and I'm going to go after him." But William says, "Wait a minute, can't do that." So no. I'm going to take out these guys because unless somebody does something, we're all going to end up dead. So this is very serious stuff. And some of the stuff that's happening in this movie is, in fact, even though it's based in a certain part of history, some of these things that are happening, some of these people that are living in these areas, some of these are true things that have happened. So, they don't call it the Wild West for nothing. There were a lot of dangerous things going on back then, including this, which we are seeing on screen right now between Ben Wade's character and how he's taking care of business in a sense. By the way, that was pretty quick the way he disposed of those three antagonists. It's very quick. I didn't think he was going to be able to do it that bad, but apparently, he is a pretty fast gunslinger. Excuse me. I'm just pointing it out there. Boy, look at that. He's got it all now. By the way, for those who may be wondering, we are witnessing the 15th anniversary of 3:10 to Yuma. We are at the 1 hour and 10-second mark here in the movie. If you want to queue up your copy on streaming service, on physical media, feel free to do so at this moment. Let us know your thoughts about this movie. Let us know about your thoughts about the Western genre, favorite Western movies, who are some of your favorite actors that have appeared within the genre, things of that nature. Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments. We're going to keep it on as we go throughout the course of the show. If you're watching this live or on the replay, thank you so much for doing so. And don't forget to like and share this video with all 700 of your closest friends. They're going to like the way they look after watching or listening to the 50th anniversary celebration watch-along of 3:10 to Yuma here at It's Nerd Culture. We guarantee it.
Ryan, you mentioned that there's a lot of things that could kill you in the West. Well, have you seen A Million Ways to Die?
No. Listen. I am not the biggest Seth MacFarlane fan, but plus I heard that movie wasn't very good.
It's not supposed to be good.
No, but I'm just saying, like, in general, I heard, like, from the consensus of the audience, didn't it get panned by critics? Like, didn't it get like a 25% rating on Rotten
like
Tomatoes
a lot of his
something?
stuff gets wildly critiqued, but I liked it. It wasn't meant to be serious.
No, it wasn't. I know Doc Brown makes a cameo in the movie as his character from Back to the Future 3. Christopher Lloyd's in that movie. And also, who else is in the movie as the female? Charlize Theron. Yeah. She plays like the wild gunslinger or something like that.
Yeah.
There's something for you. But no, I have not seen that. If anyone else has thoughts on it, let us know in the chat.
Sorry, brain fart.
No, it's all right. A lot of things going on here, folks. Memento for myself.
Glad we got rid of him. Here's Wilson. I guess another Western comedy is his brother, Owen Wilson, in Shanghai Noon.
Yes.
I hadn't seen it in a while, but it was pretty amusing.
All right, so they're currently in a tented village with the Chinese slaves that are building the railroad.
Yeah, if you're watching along, we're at 1 hour, 14 and 20 seconds. You didn't think they could hook somebody up to a car battery back then, did you?
Interesting way to electrocute somebody.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Bowles, that man is my prisoner. I'm here to take him to contention. Put him on the 310 to Yuma. Yeah, but Ben Wade, he killed my kid brother. Well, I understand your need for revenge, but this is not the time. Gotta take him to contention. Put him on the train. Take him to trial. And we see the appearance of Luke Evans here in this scenario.
Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson, I'm sorry, jeez.
We were just chatting, and actually, it reminded me, Owen Wilson. I liked his cowboy movie, Shanghai Noon.
Oh, right. I'm sorry, got confused with the other actors. But yes, I do remember Shanghai. Shanghai Noon is a fun movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if
It's been a long time, but it was amusing. I remember.
Is it a Western though, or is it kind of a combination of an Eastern Western?
Well, yeah, Eastern Western.
Yeah, that's what people would.
Jackie Chan.
That's what people would say. But yeah, I like that movie too. That movie's fun. But by the way, I haven't seen Shanghai Noon in a very long time.
Yeah, same here.
I wonder if it's streaming anywhere, Dave. I wonder where I can find it.
Could be.
That's a good question. If anyone knows where we can find that movie, which is known as Shanghai Noon, which is a bit of a Western, as we're trying to stick to the Western genre here on this. Great. Let us know if it's available somewhere, because I don't know offhand.
It is on Amazon Prime.
Thank you, Dave, once again with the information. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, sir. And once again, I do want to take
something is playing, whether it's streaming or renting or whatever. I always go to justwatch.com.
Fair point. Thank you so much for that information, Dave. And once again, I want to take this opportunity to thank our panelists, in this case, me and Willow and Dave, for being on the show with us. And so far, I hope, Dave, you've been enjoying yourself here in the first time in the Nerd Culture Studios.
I enjoy myself, whatever I do.
No.
Sometimes I'm the only one who enjoys my company, but I always enjoy my company.
Gee willikers, we're very thankful that you were here with us, both of you. So thank you both for being. Oh, and thank you. I see the note that someone sent me in the backstage area. Thank you. Appreciate that. As we roll along. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to bring this up. Dave took the liberty, I should say, of posting another link for another Western type thing in the chat. So thank you very much for that. There you go. Anyone has any questions about it, feel free to look at the comments section either during the live portion or the replay portion of this broadcast.
Yeah, and the Frisco Kid, Gene Wilder, is a Polish rabbi who is being sent to America for a new temple out there. And he said, well, I'm going to New York? No, you're going to San Francisco. Where's that? It's by New York.
Yeah.
He gets to America. He's robbed. He has no way to get all the way to San Francisco. Runs across a bank robber, Harrison Ford. They become friends along the way.
Okay. Nice. Very nice.
And similar kind of themes to 310, where Gene Wilder, his rabbi's faith and goodness and integrity eventually sways the heart of the bank robber.
That's a little.
Now, Dave, I'm sure you've had several Westerns filmed in your town. Ryan, any Westerns that you know of filmed in up where you live?
Well, I don't know if this is a Western per se. It is a period piece, but I don't think it's a Western, although it is set during the 1800s, I think. But anyway, so I'm sorry. To answer the question, I don't know anything specific about a Western that's been filmed in the state of Maryland, where I am here in the U.S., but I will say this. There was this film that came out from Disney. It wasn't a remake. It was live action adaptation of the book Tuck Everlasting
Oh yeah.
with the what's her name, the girl who was on Gilmore Girls, Alexis Bledel, Joshua Jackson, William Hurt, Sissy Spacek, Ben Kingsley, Victor Garber, for Pete's sake, was in this movie. And this movie came out in the 2000s, and it was filmed on the eastern shore of Maryland. More specifically, it was filmed in the small town of Berlin, Maryland, which is on the eastern shore of that state. And also, it was filmed in the Loch Raven Reservoir, which isn't too far from my neck of the woods where I am. So different parts and pieces of the film were filmed in those locations. But you know, the funny story about that is, Willow, I almost became an extra on that movie. The problem was is that I wanted to audition. You had to audition. You had to like go in front of people and say, "Hey, this is what I want to do." Da, da, da. And I chickened out at the last split second, and I told my mom and my dad, I said, "Listen, I'm kind of getting tired. I want to go home, right? Or I want to go back to where we were staying because we don't live in Berlin. We were just down there for vacation. You know what I mean?" So I told him I want to go back to the hotel, and they said, "Okay." So we jump in the car. We go back to where we're staying. But here's the problem, Willow. Years later, when I saw the movie on VHS, because I know VHS was still a thing, guys. So I saw don't judge me. So I saw this on VHS, and I realized I could have been the guy who was throwing the baseball pitch. I could have been the pitcher at this game because they're playing a game of baseball in the middle of the street, and Alexis Bledel actually goes up to bat. So I could have been the pitcher that was kind of like egging her on because there was this snot-nosed punk kid that was taunting Alexis Bledel's character, right? So I easily could have seen myself going up to her and saying, well, it isn't, Miss, rich girl in her fancy car. Doesn't matter. Don't want to get your feet dirty. I could have easily delivered that line better than that kid. Easily could have delivered it. Not to toot my own horn, gentleman who played that character in the movie, if you're watching this, but I would have liked to have played that character. So I didn't do it. I failed. So
these pretzels are making me thirsty. It could have been
exactly. Thank you, Dave. And by the way, I did have French fries earlier tonight for dinner, and these pretzels are making me thirsty, Dave. Thanks for bringing that up. Mm-hmm. So that was my dinner. Okay, don't judge me.
When I think of you, I think of Snot-Nosed Kid. So yeah, you really that role.
I could have. Thank you, Dave. I guess I don't know. So that is one of the biggest regrets of my life, Willow, is not sticking around on set, auditioning to be an extra, maybe play one of the kids who has a little line in that sequence that takes place in the middle of the street. Because I think that would have been a lot of fun, personally, if you know what I mean. So if you want to count that as it's not really a Western. It's more of it is a family-friendly film, but at the same time, it is a period piece. It is, because if you look up the synopsis, it says, well, it's set in the 1800s. And by the way, they put all dirt all over the street. They had to make it look like it was set in that time. So they put dozens and dozens of gallons of dirt all over town, So I was this close to being famous, Willow. I was this close. And by the way, when I saw the film later on, years later, Willow, I cried at the end of the movie because Tuck Everlasting is one of my favorite movies ever. If you have not seen Tuck Everlasting from Walt Disney Pictures with a great cast like that includes a young up-and-coming at the time Alexis Bledel during her Gilmore Girls run, Ben Kingsley, Joshua Jackson, you had, who was from Dawson's Creek, I think, Joshua Jackson? Yeah, Dawson's Creek. You had Ben Kingsley, Sissy Spacek, William Hurt, who, by the way, William Hurt and Sissy Spacek, I believe, is a married couple, like a mother-father type thing. That is some great acting, okay? So if you have not seen Tuck Everlasting, I sincerely advise you to watch that film. Anyway, I'm sorry. I went on a weird tangent about a film that's not even a Western. Okay. That just happened to be filmed in my state. I'm sorry.
Another period piece in the 1800s, not set in the West, but in New York City, is called Copper, a TV show from 10 years ago.
I loved that show. I love that show, Dave. Thank you so much for bringing that up. That is an underrated show. That was very underrated.
Ripper Street was out at the same time, and that got a lot more attention. But Copper is the one that I just thought was amazing.
Yeah, it was. You know who? The only actor I knew from that show was Franca Potente, who played the love interest in the Bourne movies with Matt Damon.
And from before that, she got famous from Run, Lola, Run, which was the inspiration for the TV show Alias. With Victor Garber. Circling back around.
There you go. 6 degrees of separation with Victor Garber's acting abilities, because he is such a great actor as Victor Garber. Oh, so good. But yeah, he was in Tucker Everlasting. So if you're curious to see more of his filmography, feel free to look it up. It is, well, once again, it is a Disney film. So if you're going to find it, it would more than likely be on something known as Disney Plus.
Right.
So if anyone wants to stream Tucker Everlasting that was filmed in my state of Maryland, look that stuff up, pal. By the way, the movie will break you because you're going to be crying tears of buckets at the end of that movie. I'm just giving you fair warning, Willow. Giving you fair warning.
How would you say it compares to The Fault in Our Stars, if you've seen that one?
I have seen it, Dave, and I'll tell you what, Tucker Everlasting beats it all day.
Okay.
100%. I would take Tucker Everlasting over The Fault in Our Stars, Paper Towns, some of the other films that dude made. I'm like, nah, Tucker Everlasting's better than that. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents. If anyone else feels differently, that's okay. All film is subjective. Let us know in the chat if you want to. That's up to you. I'm not gonna. Whatever. It's a choice. So anyway, we are getting towards the third act of this movie. We are about an hour and 25 minutes into the film known as 3:10 to Yuma, which turns 15 on this very day. It's the 50th anniversary, starring Russell Crowe, Christian Bale, among many others. We are getting towards the scene where they are holed up in a hotel room that is very close to the train that is about to take Ben Wade to trial, but they have to wait it out. And unfortunately, a lot of the members of their team have been killed, including the Doc character that was played by Alan Tudyk a few minutes ago. He was killed off, sadly, but he did go out, sacrificing for the team. So I'll give him that. So great, it was a sad death, but it was a respectable one for a character. And now Mr. Butterfield has taken the liberty of hiring the local sheriff and his team, 2 deputies of his, to help escort Ben Wade to the train that is going to take him to trial, which in this case is the train known as 3:10 to Yuma. But it is not going to be an easy task because Ben Wade's gang of thieves and murderers are hot on their heels, and they will be there shortly. And you know what I think is really good about this movie, 3:10 to Yuma, Dave, Willow, is the tension that builds throughout the course of this movie. The tension builds very well throughout all the characters, throughout all the scenery that is featured in this movie, specifically between Ben Wade and Dan Evans. The tension just continues to ramp up. Would you agree?
Yeah. What do you think is the turning point? When do you think Ben does the face turn? Is it only at the very end when we see him, or do you think his heart was touched before that?
I think it's touched before that. I actually think it's what am I trying to say here? I'm sorry. It's touched when they are on their way to the train track. They are running through, but they're being ambushed by the thieves and murderers and the bounty hunters that are trying to take them out. When Dan Evans reveals something to Ben Wade that is something that he couldn't even admit to his own wife and sons, that is when, to me, Ben Wade thinks to himself, oh, this man he is a good man. He's tried it done right, but it's just been hard for him in certain areas of his life. So he tries to hide it very well, even though it's not always easy because his son is always giving him crap about not respecting him. And then his wife can barely look at him. As Dan Evans says in the beginning of the movie, he says, Alice, I'm tired of you not being able to look at me. I'm tired of my son not being able to look at me the way that you aren't now. So he's just tired of it. So to me, it's when they're running through the town and they stop. They make a pit stop at a store because the bullets are flying. That's when the face turn happens, in my opinion.
Yeah, they'd spent 3 days together.
Oh yeah,
this movie takes
3. I think it's 3 days, Dave. I think it's 3 days. If anyone else knows information about that, let me know. Pretty sure it's 3 days.
He'd been seeing his character, his integrity the whole time, and at first he was probably a little too, hard-hearted. He's just, talking a game, or it's all an act, or he doesn't know the way the world really works. Whatever he might have been saying to himself, but he really got to see the actual good man underneath all of that, and it was an informed good man. He wasn't naive. He knew about all the things going on in the world. He was able to be good despite all the troubles, not because he didn't have any troubles.
Yep, it's a fair point, fair statements that have been made, and it's good stuff. We thank you for sharing that with us. Absolutely. By the way, another thing I like about this movie is the score. I think the score by Marco Beltrami is pretty good stuff, and he's done the score for a number of different films in different genres, respectively. So if anyone's curious where the music is coming from, it's composed by Marco Beltrami. Feel free to look up his disc or music discography. Thank you.
I knew what you were trying to say.
Thank you, but discography. Words are being messy. Feel free to look it up on imdb.com or some other website that I think Google would know the answer to because I don't know.
Whenever I see Peter Fonda in this, he looks more to me like Donald Sutherland than he does himself.
Good point. Whoops, I almost spelled that incorrectly as I'm writing this down. Sorry, I've got notes here. I'm just looking over. There we go. Now I got it going. Okay. All right. Just wondering what was going on with that spelling error, but I fixed it. Whoa, something's going on here. So Charlie Prince's character, played by Ben Foster, says, wait a minute. The person that is in this town is the one they call Ben Wade. Ben Wade is being holed up in that room, in that building. And if you are willing to help us free him from his captors, we are going to offer you $200 cash. $200 cash to help us free Ben Wade from his captors. So when this happens in this movie, I'm thinking to myself, well, the tide has very much turned, because if you think 5 men going out there to escort Ben Wade to the train tracks is going to be an easy feat, I don't think it's going to be as easy as you once thought, because Ben Wade actually warned them a moment ago by saying, 5 people, that's not nearly enough, Sheriff. It's not going to happen. And now there's about 30 or 40 guns out there now that are facing the building that they are being held up in. So this isn't looking good.
Yeah.
Especially when this offer is being made by Charlie Prince's character in the movie known as 3:10 to Yuma, which came out in the year 2007. It's a Western film starring starring Russell Crowe, Christian Bale, among many others. We are celebrating its 15th anniversary on this special presentation. Feel free to join us whether you're watching it through a streaming service or a physical media. We are at the 1 hour and 31 minute mark here in the film. Feel free to join us. Let us know your thoughts, your comments, your memories of this film or the Western genre in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and share this video with all of your friends, because they're going to like the way they look after watching or listening to this 15th anniversary watch-along celebration of 3:10 to Yuma from 2007. We guarantee it.
He just recruited the whole town, or at least a bunch of the town. It reminds me almost of a reverse Taken, Liam Neeson kind of deal.
I'm sorry, you said Taken with Liam Neeson, or you mean?
Yeah,
okay.
It basically, instead of paying ransom, I'm just gonna put out a reward on you for the same amount, and now the whole world is trying to find you instead of the other way around.
Oh, gotcha. Yep, you're right. Oh, now I understand what they were talking about earlier. Let's see.
The role that I always remember Ben Foster the most for is the Punisher movie. He was the skinny roommate Dave, who had all the nose piercings and all of that deal.
Yeah.
And Will Patton got to the pliers and pulled a bunch of things off.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
Very different character from the type displayed here.
My goodness. Big change in the scenery and a big change in the deck here with all those men out there. I didn't think, when he makes that offer, I'm thinking, well, this town can't be filled with a lot of bounty hunters or a lot of gunslingers, could it? And then all of a sudden you're thinking, you see all the people walking around saying, hey, give me that $200. Give me the $200 right now. I'm like, well, you can only get the $200 if you actually help us free Ben Wade. You can't get it just yet. So I'm thinking to myself, there's a lot of bounty hunters in this town. For a small town, there's I think most, if not 90% of the town is covered in bounty hunters or people who are just willing to do anything for money.
Yeah. Well, people who have bullets and not a lot of money and would rather have money.
Yeah, that's
full of desperate people, not professional bounty hunters.
Right, desperate people. That's right. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the word and the terminology I was thinking of. Here we go, Dan. It's just you and your boy.
And then all of a sudden, bam! You have a bunch of turncoats. I'm going to go ahead and leave and surrender, and it didn't work out for them either. So now the odds are even worse.
Yeah. You want to take a look? You want to take a look outside that window, boy? Go ahead, take a look.
Got
And then
Dan and his son.
Yep, it's just Dan and your boy, son. It's just you, Dan. Just you and your boy. Just back off, William. Man, my goodness. They have a few people to help. Turns out there's more. And then, wait a minute. William has something to say about all this. You need to call him off. Why? Because you're not all bad. Yes, I am. Very iconic lines being spoken here. In this part of the movie.
It might be the eyebrows, but he looks like a young Christian Slater to me.
Oh, really? Oh, I see what you mean. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyone
Yeah,
else?
he actually does.
Yeah, now that you think about it. Kind of like,
They had a sale on.
Yep.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Which, by the way, I have not seen that movie, but I know certain people love the movie, and certain people have mentioned, and I've seen the clip from the film that was featured in this montage. I think it was called the 100 Best Movie Threats, and it's when who's the actor that passed away? What's his name? The one from Galaxy Quest. What's his name?
Rickman.
Alan Rickman says,
Yeah.
Loxley, I'm going to cut your heart out with a spoon. And I'm thinking, what? There is no way you can cut someone's heart out with a spoon. There's no way. But he's going to try it anyway. So, maybe? I haven't seen the movie, though. That's the only thing I've seen from the movie is that little montage. Sorry.
You better off watching Men in Tights.
It was a good movie.
You mean Prince of Thieves
I did. Men in Tights was also a really good movie. Yes, Prince of Thieves was a good movie for its time, but yeah.
Okay.
I didn't care much for it, except for Alan Rickman. It was one of the cases where Rickman appeared to think he was in a different movie than everybody else.
Oh yeah.
Almost like Chris Tucker in Fifth Element kind of thing.
Well, when you're classically trained and you're up against, guys who aren't so classically trained,
Like
you're
Kevin
going to be
Costner.
carrying the movie.
Because Kevin Costner wasn't prepared for that movie, was he? Because he's not even British. Because unlike other Robin Hoods, I can speak with an English accent.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, yeah, that kind of suits the character better, don't you think, Carrie Elways? I'm just saying, brother. Which, by the way, I've seen Robin Hood Men in Tights. I just haven't seen Robin Hood Prince of Thieves.
Russell Crowe's version of Robin Hood was really good.
Dude, I got to be honest with you. I was so hyped for that movie because the trailer for Robin Hood with Russell Crowe, the version that came out, I believe, in 2014, if I can remember correctly, that movie looked so good from the trailers. And when I ended up seeing it, I'm like, this movie is not very good. It's dry. It's dry. There's just nothing there. Russell Crowe's a great actor, and I think he could be a serviceable Robin Hood, but it didn't work, guys. That remake, is it a remake? No, it's a reboot. The reboot just didn't work. I'm sorry. Sorry, Willow. I know you may like that movie, but Robin Hood didn't work.
No, it's okay. Like, everybody has their own opinions about movies.
Robin Hood. The trailer for Robin Hood is better than the film. Okay, that's just my opinion. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I don't know how you feel about the trailer, but
I don't really watch trailers for movies anymore.
Well, they do spoil everything nowadays. So.
I like to go with an open mind.
You want to go in blind.
Mm-hmm.
You completely want to go into a movie cold, which, by the way, I respect you for that because that's not always easy for me to do. No,
I'll often watch the first trailer.
Yeah, same here, Dave.
6 months ahead, but then go as dark as I can to be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I pretty much do the same thing. Unless it's a movie I'm really not 100% sure about, then I will watch trailer number 2. But other than that, I just watch the teaser and that's it.
Yeah.
It's like if the movie sells me on the teaser, I'm done. I'm just gonna watch the movie. I'm done. I'm gonna go in cold, cold as I can.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying in movie terminologies, but yes. So Dan Evans is telling his boy, "This is the end of the line for you. You're not going with me to the tracks. I want you to take this gold piece, give it back to your mother. Tell her that I did everything I could to that I did the right thing, that I took this man to that train, and I got him on the train, and I took him to trial. Because he wants Mr. Buttermaker to protect his son, keep them held up in the hotel while Dan Evans and Ben Wade are making their way towards the train tracks." So that was a very big thing that Dan did. It's like, listen, I know you want to be on this with me, but you cannot be here. This is not your fight. You've gone as far as you can. I'm not going to have you, because it's a really good. I mean, with the odds being stacked against them. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. I don't want to see his kid die. I don't think Dan Evans doesn't want to see his kid die. So you're just going to sit in this hotel for the next hour and a half while I'm sitting here with Ben Wade, and we're just going to, make our way towards the train track. By the way, squeezing that watch over there is not going to stop time. Throws the watch at the wall, breaks it down, and I see that Ben Wade is making another drawing.
Yep. It's interesting to see the artistic bad guy.
Yeah, it's true. And I will say this: despite him being the antagonist in this movie, Ben Wade is a heck of an artist. Because you see the one of the bird, the hawk or whatever it was in the beginning of the movie, and then he draws his girlfriend. Well, maybe not his girlfriend, more like the person that he was with that day. Hello. And then that happened, right? And then he just walks off. What did he ever do with that sketch? Did he give that to her? Does anyone remember what he did?
Probably.
I think he just put the thing on her bed or something. I don't know.
Could be.
Anyone remember that? If anyone remembers that in the chat, let me know, because I'd be curious to hear what happened to that sketch. Or that drawing, excuse me.
Draw me like one of your French girls.
Anyone know what happened to that drawing? I don't know. So what do you think, Dan? Think you're going to make it down there? You really think you're going to make it to those tracks?
Yeah, I will.
The conversations between these two characters really start to take a turn in the third act. I think they take more of a turn in the third act of the movie than they do the second act. Because the second act, they're just, on the trail, trying to make it through the trail. And he has a little bit of a conversation with him between here and there, but at the same time, not too much happens until the third act, when they actually get into town and actually held up in a hotel room saying, hey, this is who I am, this is what my life is, and this is why I'm going to make sure that you get your butt on that train and you go to trial and pay for what you've done.
Yeah, second act, they're almost reluctant allies.
I agree with you, 100%.
It's only here when they get to the end, okay, now, it's me and you, I'm going to take you in and you're going to jail. That's when they become full opposition.
Agreed. It's like they're about to make their way outside, right? So we are at the door, or should I say the back door, to the hotel establishment that they are in. They're about to leave. Dan is escorting him out. He's got the gun on him, making sure nothing goes wrong. And before you know it, boom! Bullets are starting flying, guys. Oh, it's going.
Using a bad guy to human shield.
Yep. Now everybody's after him. He's got to load up now. Let's go. They're in the back.
Never been fully clear. Do they have like wanted posters, or there's this guy in here, Ben Wade. We want to protect him, is what they were saying to the crowd. But all you see is two guys in hats running out. How do they know which one is him, which one is not? Yeah, kill the other guys, but save this one guy. All we can tell you is, they're white guys with dark hair and they're wearing coats and hats. So pick the right one.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's what I was. Good points, my friend. Good points as we go throughout the course of this film. Sorry, just a note here. I like the weapons that are used here too. He's got that shotgun, like half off, and then he's got his pistol. They're really, and the weapons in this movie, some of them are really like well used or well designed. Trying to be authentic to the period, or should I say the time period? But I like the costumes. I can't help it. I really like.
I want Ben Foster's jacket. That is amazing.
Oh, do you?
It is gorgeous.
Okay.
All those buttons up and down the sides.
It's like this goes from, hey, stop shooting! You're shooting at Ben Wade. Charlie Prince is telling him, "What are you guys doing? You're doing this all wrong. Why are you shooting at both of them? You can't do that." Right. And now Charlie Prince is taking out some of the bounty hunters.
Yep.
Look at this. Three of them just got shot. 4 of them just got shot. Or is it 5? Nope, it's 4. Yep, Charlie's going after him. Take him out. Oh, there goes 6. We got 6. Six bounty hunters have been fired on.
And they started with what, 10 or 12?
Yeah, now they're down to like more. But I got to tell you, man, Dan Evans is holding his own against these desperate people and his gang. Like, he is holding his own very well.
Yep.
Look at that. He shoots a guy on a horse. Well, he almost got him on the horse.
Well, you shot at a guy. No, I don't know if he hit the guy on the horse.
He got this guy in the shop, though.
Yeah.
He got this guy in the shop. And now they're running towards the back. I think this is where the conversation is going to start to turn a little bit. If not in the next store they're going to barge into. I'm not going to that train. Yeah. Oh! Shoots another one. Come with me, Wade. Ah! Stop being so stubborn. Yep, this is where the conversation is going to take a turn. Charlie! You come up in here. Yep. But, whoa, wait a minute. Dan Evans is not going down. Yep, this is where this is where the face turns. Dave, this is where it happens.
Okay.
With this conversation they're about to have. Well, momentarily.
Yeah.
Really good acting here, I gotta say. Really good acting.
You can't push Batman around like that.
And he's fighting with one leg. But, by the way, speaking of, okay, this is completely irrelevant to this movie. I know we're getting towards the end, but I gotta say this though. Has anyone seen the film Heavyweights from Walt Disney? Has anyone ever seen Heavyweights with Ben Stiller as Tony Perkis?
No.
Okay, all right. So this is on Disney Plus, right? So he's a fitness nut, right? Ben Stiller's character, Tony Perkis. Okay, so he is making a video. Well, he's part of making a video towards the end of the movie where he says, "My grandmother runs faster than you, and she's only got one leg." I'm like, what is? I can't help but laugh. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Heavyweights is a family film that was made by the same people who made the Mighty Ducks trilogy. Stephen Brill and Judd Apatow was part of this too. So look up Heavyweights. It's on Disney Plus with Ben Stiller as one of the lead characters. It's hilarious. It's about a group of kids who go to a camp to lose weight, but it's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious, and it treats the. Let me just put it to you this way. I know that certain subject matters are very touchy-feely, but this one handles it, I think, in a really more conducive and positive way. So if anyone's curious about it, look up Heavyweights from the 1990s on Disney Plus. By the way, hashtag not sponsored. So there you go. And by the way, there's
I'm a Stiller fan, but I did just watch Mystery Man a couple days ago. I hadn't seen that in a long while.
Dude, Mr. Furious.
Yeah, I like him a lot in that and the Night at the Museum movies.
That's a good one, brother. Good picks, Dave. I like that. But yeah, if anyone's curious about what I'm talking about, feel free to look up that movie on another streaming service a little bit later on. But yeah. Oh, look at this. They're on the rooftops. So his son William finds the drawing that Ben Wade made of Dan Evans, and now Dan Evans and Ben Wade are racing to get to the tracks, but they're jumping off rooftops apparently. Speaking of Batman, he is jumping off rooftops.
Yeah, with one leg.
With one leg.
All that Batman training came in handy. We knew it would.
Which is very true, Dave. It's very true. I'm not going to argue that point, big man. Look at this. They're going all through this town. Look at this. They're going through the displays. They're going through pieces of buildings that haven't been put together yet. I mean, look how fast these guys are going.
Mm.
And yet the gang is on their tail, fellas. It's getting real serious up in here. And then they just had that serious conversation about how I can't bear to tell my son this is how I lost my leg. And this is how Ben Wade and Dan Evans respect each other.
Yep.
So they understand each other. So now these are great conversations. These are really good character pieces here.
This is a serious boom town. I mean, I would have guessed in your typical Western town there might be one building under construction at a time. You know, it's got 8 or more being built up in a big hurry.
I think he got Dan Evans in the leg there. Charlie did. Pretty sure he got him in the leg. Maybe it may have been the leg that's been taken away. So I don't know.
Yeah.
The introduction to the railroad actually helped create Winnipeg the way it is today. Unfortunately, we kind of ruined my city with modernizing it, but the hotel that I will say this about the hotel that I work in: if it wasn't for the railroad, the Fort Garry Hotel wouldn't exist.
Oh. Okay, well, I guess there was a little bit of a bright spot to come out of it, even though you're not happy with the way it's been modernized.
No, there's been way too many weird changes.
Weird changes, you mean? Okay. I'm sorry to hear that, Willow.
Too many decisions made to tear down certain buildings as well. And
sorry to hear that. That's not a pretty thing to do.
I like the tactic that's coming up here.
Yeah.
With the Stampede deal.
With the Stampede, yeah, with William trying to help
using
his
your
dad.
environment creatively, yeah.
Yep, trying to help out his dad.
Nicely done.
Now we're having another heart-to-heart conversation between the two main characters. Since you confessed to something, I'm not stubborn. I wasn't stubborn about this whole thing. Why are you telling me this?
Yeah, because I'm Batman.
And then Ben Wade says, well, since we're making confessions, which this is kind of a big revelation that he makes towards the end of the film, wouldn't you say? Well, he's about to make it here momentarily. And for those of you wondering, we are getting towards the end of the movie known as 3:10 to Yuma from the year 2007. We're at the about hour 50-minute mark here, I believe, if I remember this correctly. Yeah. So we're getting close to it. If you want to join us for the last few moments, feel free to do so. Let us know your favorite memories, your thoughts about this movie or anything in the Western genre. Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like and share the video with all 800 of your closest friends. They're going to like the way they look after watching or listening to the 15th anniversary celebration watch-along of 3:10 to Yuma from 2007, starring Christian Bale, Russell Crowe, among many, many other talented actors. See, just made a big confession here. I've been to Yuma twice, Yuma prison twice. I've escaped it twice. That's kind of a problem. That may present a bit of a wrinkle here.
Here comes next time.
And here comes the train. The train we've all been waiting for. There it is. There's your 3:10 to Yuma, fellas. Oh, wait a minute. William's trying to make a bit of a play here.
Yep.
Well, he's going back.
And I do have to say that steam trains are one of the most beautiful trains out there, even by today's standards.
Yeah? What do you think of the look of this train, Willow?
It kind of reminds me of the Duchess. We have a steam train here called the Duchess of Dufresne. Beautiful train.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm going on a train ride in 2 months.
We also have the Prairie Dog Central.
Prairie, yeah. Okay. Whenever, I don't know if you don't have to if you don't want to, Willow, but when you get a chance, can you send me links or pictures of
Absolutely.
that in Messenger about those railroads? Because I mean, like a lot of individuals, my late father, God rest the man's soul, he took me to railroad museums, and we had train displays, we had train, things around our house. We went to the, what do you call them, the train gardens when they were up during the holiday season. I'm sure for those who may be watching or listening to this, you may be familiar with this. And those were a lot of fun to see. Those were a lot of fun to piece together, if you know what I mean. And then going on train rides, those are a fun thing too. So I have nothing against historical trains. I have nothing against the trains that were very important to people's livelihood and their jobs. So if anyone has any fun facts about the introduction to the railway or the railroad or anything like that, let us know in the comments. We're very curious to hear your thoughts about some of the history behind the railroad industry. So there you go. I got a present here. Going to attention. 3:10 to Yuma. It's Ben Wade. See, you got him on the train, didn't he?
Yep. Did his job. Look out. You can't kill Batman.
I know they couldn't do it, but I wish his son William would have just killed Charlie and Ben Wade right there. Honestly, I think he should have just killed all of them for what they did to his dad. To be perfectly honest with you, I mean, look what he did. Charlie just put 5 bullets in him, and that, by the way, that scene still gets me. Like when you see it, you're like, it's really heartbreaking. I got to be honest with you, Dave. Sure. All right, well, there's William. Took care of the stampede.
Yeah, there's young Christian Slater running up.
Young looking Christian, yeah, that's true. For a one-legged rancher, he's one tough SOB. He was. He is 100% right. 100% right. And look at that. He gets his gun.
You're free. Here, take the gun. Now we can all go away.
He's got his gun back, the one that has a curse on it. There was a name for that gun too, Dave. I just don't remember the name of the gun. I don't remember it. He mentions it in the beginning of the movie.
Someone else is about to meet that gun's curse here in a second.
Oh, look at this.
You killed my friend, Dan.
You coming? Wait. Dude. Oh, you just... Every single one of them. Done.
Yep.
Finished.
6 shots, 6 kills.
Oh, look at this. He's not done with Charlie yet. Oh, did he take Charlie's gun? I think he did.
Put him under the track. He was a good man.
He is out. Oh, here comes William. You did it, Paul. You got him on the train. Yeah. Heartbreaking right here with this character. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. I thought, honestly, if I could reverse this, I would have William kill Charlie before Charlie would have killed his dad. Honest to God, I gotta tell you. And now look at this. Now he's got a gun on Ben Wade. I thought he was gonna kill Ben Wade, to be perfectly honest. I wouldn't have blamed him if he did. I mean, what do you think? I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think he could have killed Ben? You think he should have killed Ben Wade?
I think it's not what his dad would have wanted. And if he wants to, now that he finally understands and respects his father, that he should respect those, his dying man's wishes to see him get on the train.
There you go. There you go. Any thoughts about that, Willow?
Sorry.
It's all right. You're quite busy back there in the wonderful place of your studio. Is everything okay? I hope everything.
Oh yeah, no, my husband's on the phone, so I apologize.
No, it's all right. We respect the whole muting thing. That's why we have a mute button in everyone's studio. But do you have any thoughts about how this movie could or should have ended?
I would have loved to see the father survive this whole mess, but
Dan Evans, yeah. Fair point.
Well, Dan did not survive, but his spirit did.
Yeah. Ben Wade got on the train.
Wife of Ben Wade and his son.
That's true, because we didn't get a chance to bring this up earlier in the movie, but the scene does happen where Dan Evans makes a deal with Butterfield that says, you're going to give my son $1,000 cash to give to my wife and children, and you're going to make sure that no one touches my land ever again.
Mm-hmm.
So he did, in a way, he did get some justice and, some good things to happen for his family, despite all the tragedy that happens to him. Yeah,
his family's taken care of financially, but now his son is going to be a good, strong man rather than the hothead who could potentially get in a lot of trouble. He's refocused the direction of his life, I believe.
That is very true. Very true. Ben Wade's on the train, but he just whistled for his horse to, I believe, come and get him. Maybe he's about to escape. Maybe he's about to escape for a third time, Dave?
No, I think it's just for his horse to come with him.
Oh, you don't think it's an attempt for him to escape?
I don't think so.
You think he finally came to? You think he finally came to terms with everything he's done and he's ready to just go away?
Maybe that, or maybe just he will go all the way to the prison for the sake of his friend Dan.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you know that we have reached the end of this movie known as 3:10 to Yuma from the year 2007. The credits are beginning to roll here, as also known as the end credits. The movie has come to a close. I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for joining us, whether you're watching this live or the replay. We just celebrated the 15th anniversary and watch-along of 3:10 to Yuma from 2007, starring Russell Crowe, Christian Bale, remake of a film of the same name, and I'm just going to go around the table here. Willow, after watching this movie, what are your thoughts about 3:10 to Yuma from 2007?
Well, okay, I can in a way see why my husband wasn't a huge fan of it, because there's some dialogue scenes and some scenes in general that were a little bit long. Probably could have cut down the movie a little bit, but all in all, I think the movie still holds up and is still fairly decent.
Okay, all right. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are you going to give this bad boy?
I'm gonna say an 8.
Ooh, that's a good number. Like it. Good stuff, Willow. Appreciate that. I will come back to you momentarily. Dave, after watching this movie and also for making your first appearance in the Nerd Culture Studios, just for this purpose, what do you think about 3:10 to Yuma now that you've seen it again?
I think it still holds up quite a bit. It is a talky movie more than a shooty movie, which that might be why Will's husband didn't really care for it that much. But I think that's what gives it its strength. Is about the relationships and the time we spend with people and how that can change hearts and lives.
Well put. Well put. Very good words, my friend. For me personally, I think this film definitely holds up 15 years later. I think it's a great film in general. I think it's one of the better Westerns I've seen. I think the acting is stellar. I think someone said when this movie first came out 15 years ago that Christian Bale and Russell Crowe deliver what are known as Oscar-worthy performances. I think in a way they do, because their characters just continue to grow throughout the movie. And not only that, the tension that builds throughout the course of this movie from the very beginning to the very end, where it all comes to a head, I think is really well done. I think the pacing is really good. You could say there may be one or two things that maybe could have been cut, or maybe a few scenes that could have been removed, but I think this movie is just fine the way it is, because it builds up and builds up, and I think each scene builds upon the other with regards to the pacing of the film. So that's my thoughts on a scale. Real quick, I probably should have asked you sooner, Dave. Scale 1 to 10, what are you going to give this?
Compared to other westerns, probably a 9. One of the best westerns.
Okay.
Not the hotel, but
no.
In terms of movies in general, probably just only because westerns aren't really my thing. Maybe a high 6, low 7.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. And for me, when going back, I gave it an 8. Now that I've seen it again for the first time in a long time, with all due respect, I'm going to give it a 9. I really like this. I really, really like it. I like the score. I like the cinematography. I like the setting. I like the acting is so strong. I think it's incredibly strong. So I'm going to give it that. And once again, or something I could have brought up earlier, the director of this film, James Mangold, has done many, many, many great films in his career, from Girl Interrupted to, let's see here, he's done Logan, which is arguably one of the greatest comic book movies of all time. Speaking of X-Men characters there, Willow, I'm just saying, considering you're a big X-Men fan, Logan's kind of a big deal. He's done that. And James Mangold is the director of the upcoming Indiana Jones 5 coming up next summer. So James Mangold, well done, my friend. Well done. He's got a lot going for him. So if you want to check out James Mangold's filmography, check it out. He's also done Walk the Line. So there you go. A lot of films out of this man's belt. Well, that is going to do it for this, but I do want to go around the horn here for those of you maybe wondering, to get to know our panelists a little bit better. I'm going to start off with the rookie, the newest member of the squad. Dave, I want to say thank you for being here, first of all. Second of all, where can the person watching or listening to this find you online and everything you have coming up, Dave? What do you got?
Actually, first I'm going to revise my vote to a full 7.
Okay.
I own roughly 350, 400 movies on DVD or Blu-ray, and this is one of them. So even though westerns are not my thing, this is one of the ones that I do have. The best place to find me is davemattingly.net. That has all the links to my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. I'm most active on Facebook, and probably on Clubhouse. I'm very active on Clubhouse as well, every morning on the 413 show.
Excellent. Well, Dave, thank you so much for being here. We greatly appreciate you being here with us, and welcome to the family, man. You're in. So if you ever want to come back and do one of these again, or be involved with some of our other projects, just hit me up, man. Let me know. We'll bring you on. Sound good to you?
Got it.
Lovely. Thanks for being here, man. I will get to you in a minute. Willow, it's all up to you now, girl. Where can the person watching or listening to this find Willow Schuyler online and everything that you have coming up?
All right. So every so often I'll appear on Saturday mornings with the breakfast crew at the back of the cereal box. I also am one of the hosts of the Sideshow. So with Heather Bador. And every so often I'll even host a Cryptid Crunch. So also on the back of the cereal box network. So make sure that you guys Google or look me up. I'm all over social media.
There you go. That sounds simple enough, right? You're all over the place, so nothing wrong with that. Once again, Willow, thank you so much for being here. You're awesome. You're both awesome. You're great. You're wonderful. That being said, my name's Ryan of Nerd Culture. Find me on Twitter and Instagram simply at RyanRPM5. There's a link to my link tree in my bio. It's also linked in the description of this video. Links to where you can follow our panelists are also going to be located in the description of this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. And just to let you know, if you may be wondering, when's your next watch along? When's the next big event going to happen in regards to movie anniversaries? Well, I'll tell you what. The next one is coming up very, very soon. It'll be here in a matter of weeks because our next watch along, get ready, drum roll, blah, blah, blah. Next one is going to be Captain Ron turns 30 years young with Kurt Russell, Martin Short, and a host of other great actors and actors. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're going back to the 90s, folks. 1992's masterpiece in a comedy gem known as Captain Ron. 30th anniversary on Sunday night, September the 18th, 2022 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook and YouTube right here at It's Nerd Culture. So don't forget to subscribe and smash the notification bell so you get notified when we go live. Because where we're going, we don't know. But if we get lost, we'll just pull in somewheres and ask directions. So there you go. Captain Ron. Sunday night, September 18th, 2022, 30th anniversary. I'm excited. You're excited. Dave is excited. Willow is excited. We hope you are excited because I love that movie to pieces, and I can quote it probably better than anyone. Not that I want to brag or anything. Not that I want to brag.
Definitely a Kurt Russell fanboy.
Oh, man. I have so much fun with that movie. Oh, my goodness gracious.
I've seen I'm sure I've probably seen the Big Trouble in Little China 500 times.
Really? Wow, that's
yeah.
That is a lot. But once again, thank you. I'm having too much fun with these words. But once again, thank you all for being here. We hope you have enjoyed the special presentation. Feel free to tune in for the next one. Once again, Anti-Quote is on Saturdays, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, stay healthy, stay strong, stay safe, and remember, life is better when watching movies. Take it easy, everyone, and have a good one, I must say. But after watching this for 2 hours and hanging out with you two fine people, this is all we got to say about that.
All right, I'm a little tired, I'm a little wired, and I think I deserve a little appreciation.
Take it easy. Take it easy, everyone.
Very cagey.